lives. They end up getting taken down. Bait out. Was not able to find the thorns, find the wall. The pop, but what is going to be the pivot call?
We've seen some really impressive spray transfers already from GN. He has been really on point today.
आजा सॉरी गाली मत दो, गाली तुमला नको दो मेरे को, अभी बोल रहा हूँ मैं, गाली नको दो तुमला, कोई भी नहीं मेरे स्ट्रीम में घुमा लो। अरे बैगन की मेरी, अरे गाली खाली गाली में कोई भी नहीं देना, अभी बोल रहा हूँ मैं थोड़ा लेट हो गया, कहीं को बोल तो तुमला मेरे को नहीं उठाए, अब मैं सो के उठा, मुंह भी नहीं धोया, कुछ भी नहीं करा, जी की टी शर्ट पहना, जी जैसी थोड़ी सिमिलर, अपने पास पैसे नहीं है इसके लिए सिमिलर जैसी टी शर्ट पहना। चलो माँ की आँख, जी जीतना आज।
Headshot connecting there. The spray a bit frantic. Eludes damage. 2-2 DFM. Oh, they're going to be kicking themselves after that.
No doubt about it. That's
phenomenal
work here by Crystal. Really like to see this. GN again. Nice play there to find two. This round looks like it's done and dusted. Jinboon holding the back of the site really nicely. Finds an awkward timing where GE isn't able to kind of come at him at the same time. And that's huge. That's a bit of a positional mistake in my opinion on DFM though. If you're gonna run that high-low, there's those boxes in the back corner you can set up on.
There's a small bit of movement there. I believe it was Art kind of inching to the side. They end up getting a little bit more clustered together.
सामने बैठा हुआ है, मार इसको।
Look, they're just trying to take their weapons away, flood out in towards rubble.
कप्ताना मेरी जाना।
Pivoting back, or going to be snatched up here by May.
मेरे को इसमें से एक क्या मार रहा
Having
हूँ?
that showstopper online.
फ्लैश वैश तोड़ रहा था क्या?
But with those ults available,
चलो
for the side of GE,
कुप्पा
you almost
अंदर
have to play retake as DFM off
the
the
VALORANT
unless you
का
can
best
just
watch by
bottleneck the front of like
Mings
B
by
or
भी
something
मेरे
like that,
नीचे।
which is why you're seeing
Mings
DFM
by भी मेरे से सीखे।
along with the weaker weaponry really thinking about trying to do something like that. But right now they don't have much information on the map. They're making a hard read that maybe it's A that G is heading to.
AFK क्यों है साइफर?
Contact anywhere else on the map, but
उधर भी
it's about to
लैंड
get
पे
a
भी।
rude awakening. Just a pop of the wall. Okay.
Top of the wall.
रोटेट करो कप्ताना मेरी जाना।
Who's next? Waiting this out as mass going to go on. Patrick Koo chasing forward, scouting things out.
अपना भाई है ना।
Goes through.
ये लोग noobs।
Ico पे। Slink away from the side is opened up. GE now in control. By member strong.
Retake बहुत hard है।
Versus the eco attempt here from DFM.
भाई लोगों के लिए smokes कितना अच्छा दे रहे हैं, मेरे iron lobby
For
में smokes नहीं है
DFMs,
कुछ भी
you'd
नहीं।
love to try to get one of, if not both of the ults that are
भाई
left
तुम
in
लोग
play for
hatred
GE.
मत फैलाओ यार।
The Armageddon
मेरी
ends up
इंडियन
rolling
टीम है,
thunder
उसके
out of their
अगेंस्ट
hands
कोई
if
भी कुछ
possible.
नहीं। मैं
See if they
उसको
can make a go of it.
बिल्कुल कद्दू भी सपोर्ट नहीं करता।
Such a poor spot.
डर गया, चल मेरे को मालूम आयरन प्लेयर हूँ बोल के, फिर भी मैं बिना डरे कुछ भी बोल उछाल दिए पंग पंग बोल के।
Just wanting to ensure that they can gain the lead right here, right now.
Flawless.
Not going to be a flawless. Here's May, able to find two. Some decent damage dealt, but Crystal with a final shot from the Outlaw.
कप्ताना
Be able to
मेरी
go ahead
जाना।
and clean things up. So an old committed, but Global Esports now in the lead, 3-2.
The eco not able to quite find the mark, but you got the rolling thunder out. You used the Yoru ult as well for GE, so all things considered, not the end of the world.
नीरू
You're going to start to need to string some rounds
Stream
together.
lag हो रही क्या
Crystal's
देख?
double kill clutch
स्ट्रीम लैग हो रही क्या?
for Udotan, of course, Poppy with his ult, but showstopper available for May. And he's just down, he's out.
पैट्रिक हूँ।
Shot there. Patrick Koo just swinging
वो
forward.
बोल रहा मैं पैट्रिक हूँ।
Getting taken down. The showstopper not going to be a part of the equation.
Seeing some good change of pace from GE to start this. Showing some different looks at Rubble. This time around, they're going to take a bit of a pause, kind of regroup, rethink, try to see if they can convince DFM there's somewhere else on the map, but drone's going to go out, Prowler from Akame as well. Now DFM trying to gum up the works. What a shot.
It's just out into the open though. Sure, he's able to find one. Get into any real
उड़ोटन
Now the neural depth going to be committed.
अढ़ाई टन।
Feeling all is
अब एक बुलेट लगे तो बुल्ले मिल जाता। नक्को एक बुलेट लगे तो बुल्ले मिल जाते हैं मेरे।
knows they're scaling forward rapidly, trying to get in on top of him. They know that he's stuck into the corner.
Wall bang!
Drawn out. We'll be able to find that kill. Gen now though arriving, both players so very low. 37 health between the two of them. The face out. Gen knocked down to 10 HP.
Guys, fuck you.
It was looking like a very
as fuck.
solid 1v2
Gaya.
position. Now becomes nigh unwinnable.
OP.
Unless he can really isolate and conquer here. Going
OP,
all the way
OP,
into the
OP.
back of the B site. Plant comes through.
Spike planted.
उधर भी प्लांट होता
Just a fault line to work with for Kelly
अपने
S.
कोने में भी प्लांट होता है क्या
Play very far back.
अरे इसमें स्पाइक नहीं
Use
बता
that
रहा मैप
waterfall
में आप
position.
बताया बताया
Probably the fault line off a tap
अच्छा
of the spike, and then
डिफेंडर्स के
him and
उसने
Middleton can
पर्सपेक्टिव
swing
से नहीं
together.
दिखाई
So he'll know exactly where he's
First time
coming
है।
from
तोड़ दिया
as that trip gets cleared out. LES, the fault line at the ready.
अच्छा प्लांट है ना दोनों को
I'm
वो
starting to
विजन
take
है
away here, Tien. Looking like the call is going to be.
उन्हें ढूंढ रहा
This
किधर
is not going
ठीक
to
है
be a
लाइट लो
winnable round for
Check
the
करो।
team. Fault line does hit its mark, but he's just
अच्छा
going to go ahead and
कैमरा
drift away from
कैमरा
the
तो रहा
spike,
था अभी
which
तक
will
का
erupt
रेज
as
अच्छा
Global Esports maintain the
इजी
lead,
इजी इजी भाई
stretching it by 2 rounds.
आज डीएफएम को डब्रू पड़ेंगे डब्रू डब्रू डंप डबन डबर डबर डंप डबन डबर डबर
Seems like
4-2
that one round kind of
Neeraj
changed
की
their
height।
destiny. It looked really clean early.
नीरज
Then they haven't
Neeraj!
really found those kind of
Can this
timings,
boy
those
the
moments
XO?
where they're able to kind of play off of each other.
X
Wow, that's a nasty shot from Patrick Hu. That's why you're
cook
bringing him in here.
cook rice cook
Be that duelist, be that entry frag.
we are international now
Kick doors in for you.
international team है हमारी
That last
जी।
one, he had a chance if his crosshair was just a little bit lower, but he was expecting the wide swing.
international खाना मांगा
Or took a ton of damage. Not able to get any other value.
जी
out of
बंडल
that
कितने
round.
क्या तेरे नीरज
Again,
अभी
though,
खरीद रहा हूँ
big
मैं
ults, judge for art. So, gotta be careful here as GE.
I mean, flashed up, kind of
Patrick Hu!
clustered together over.
Patrick Hu
Nakami can stick it down, TP forward,
Come on,
up into the
please.
smoke. Patrick Hu
पीछे पीछे
killing pass, able to find one. Art does finally strike that judge. Being
मारो
put
ना
away, but
Oh,
he's
man.
not ready for
मार
Uniton.
दो इसको ah
And they crosshairs off center.
safe
Now,
F shot हाँ
Just Jinbu
100%
10
headshot
HP
उन्होंने
for himself. See if he can do any additional damage here in this round.
ही उन्हें तो 10 HP
Seems
है
relatively
चांदा
unlikely as
पड़ता उसको
Global
भी
Esports
उसको भी हेडशॉट मारो मैं लंड
really run away with this
डर
opening
गया।
half. 5-2 about to be the score.
जो बर
sure.
क्या क्या नाम है
And this
भाई
is a
जियो
rough
बर्गर
map. The one time we saw it for DFM, he squared up
जिंबुंग
against Gen G.
जिंबुंग पापी
Couldn't quite catch the
किलिस
timing there as Crystal
किल किले किल किले किल
sliding away, trying to
किले
save this gun as
कि
best as he
किले
can.
कि किले
He knows it.
किले
He is utterly surrounded though.
नाउरी दगुवे दगुवे
Missile out down here on the site.
नाउरी वदुरे वदु इसको मार देना प्लीज मार देना
Trying to stay as quiet as he possibly
भाई
can.
क्रिस्टल क्रिस्टल मार क्रिस्टल
Spotted a pixel,
इधर
though.
ये
He has no idea
इधर
that
ये
Crystal's
इधर ये
forward.
हाँ, क्रिस्टल
Crystal jumps up onto the
भाई
box. Will not be able to stabilize the aim fast enough.
ये
But now
गया
there's blood in the water. The Sharks getting ready to surround as Jinbung about to push out over towards Mount Poppy. The noise being heard. He cannot find that opening shot. So
हेडशॉट नहीं मारे
cleans
इसको
it
मैं
up.
कुछ भी नहीं
Two
हूँ
players lost on the side of
है कि
GE,
नहीं?
but plenty of cash behind. Start really racking it up. Now it's a lead of 3
नीरज
rounds.
भाई!
It looks like DFM will be calling the first timeout
Rice
stage
चढ़ाओ।
1.
Yeah, I mean, I think this makes a lot of sense. To me,
क्या
this
है?
feels
बस
like
smoke
the
क्या?
protocols of DFM are starting to fall
सिर्फ
apart a little
हेड
bit.
मार रहा है
They're getting
पैट्रिक।
flashed up, they're
ये भी
getting
हेड मार
stuck
रहा
by the
इसको
baby
मस्त
door.
मारा है। चल।
And then when Art TPs forward, there's nobody there to cover
ये।
those angles to kind of watch the extra
Papi
space that he's giving up by hiding inside of his own smoke. So there seems
Time
to
out
be
तो लेना
some
पड़ेगा bro।
problems, some
टाइम आउट तो लेना पड़ेगा तुम लोगों को
disorganization
बॉल्स
from
पैक्ड
DFM. Gonna need to try to
Balls
work that
packed,
out. On the other
बोलते,
side of
सबकी
things,
चड्डी
GE
खोलते।
looks really clean. They're starting to kind of shake off some of that rust we saw in the few
DFM की टीम
opening
किधर से
rounds.
guys?
Since
Yeah.
then, they look
डमरू
really
टीम।
nice. They're crisp. Their shots are hitting.
डब्बा
They're
टीम
playing together as a team very nicely. They're kind of keeping DFM guessing, other than maybe that last
डब्बा
round where
टीम
it was just a fight over rubble control. But I'm pretty impressed so far. Especially Patrick Hu. He said some
सोचो सोचो
really
डर
good
गए क्या
openers. Now it's been some good setups from
हाँ
the
भाई
breach,
किसकी
but still, gotta like what you're seeing.
Yeah, and I think that was the big
नहीं हो रहा है
curiosity for
क्या?
a lot of people was how quickly integrated can Patrick Hu get.
भाई इसका
Obviously
नाम
was the, the
जुविलाइल
original 5
वही है
man,
ना?
the fifth man, the one that they wanted to have
Javelin
in that
वाला?
duels position from the very outset. Did get bogged up, but was able to have visa stuff sorted out coming into the stage. But was it going to be enough time? Would they get enough practice? Would things click immediately for the team? So far here on the attack, it's
चल
looking
चल
pretty good.
Yeah,
मारो
absolutely.
मारो
I'm really impressed.
वन टैप सुन लिया अरे
And
इको
it's
इको
gonna
इको
be sheriffs for the side of
पुश
DFM.
किया पुश किया
Oh, Art,
पुश
I
किया
mean, this should
is
just
mad.
read like
This
a
is
book now.
madness.
They know exactly where
नाइस
it's at.
वन बॉल्स पैक्ड बॉल्स
It's a
पैक्ड
solid
पार्ट
idea.
2
The problem was they
बॉल्स
saw
पैक्ड
you the
बॉल्स
whole
पैक्ड
time.
Yeah,
कहाँ जा रहे रे ये दोनों
it's like one of those plays where
पड़ गई ना
if they don't go that way, you're gonna
Balls
get that
back the
extra
balls,
step ahead
back
of
the
them maybe to
balls.
try to get a quick flank.
That
But
would have been great if all of Global Esports were blind.
yes,
हो जाए हो जाए हो जाए हो जाए
Pretty hard to play
भाई
Valorant.
सेंटिनल जैसी मैच बता दो यार आज मजा आ जाए यार
Could've just,
ऐसा
you know,
खड़ा हो जाना आज
you have the
ऐसा वाला
assistant
मैच
coach run over and unplug the monitors real quick before the round starts.
You're laughing a fucker मार दे
May though, fantastic headshot.
बस पैट्रिक को मत मारना
One of the
पैट्रिक को मार दिया बोल तो मसला
you
खत्म
know,
दिख रहा है
I think there
कहीं
was that stat that if he gets over a certain amount of kills, like DFM just wins.
अरे भाई कब है मेरे
Is it
सपने
17? Is that
साकार
what it was?
Believe so.
सबके सपने सच में करूं
I mean, makes sense. But a change up here in the vice wall could catch GE a bit off guard. Yudotan did get a spot on it and popped it.
आसमां को छू
They're just
लूं
gonna pivot in towards
कितनी
B.
बदबुलू
Pit
हाँ
was used by
किने
Gian over at
कत्ता
C. So he's gonna be able to kind of lurk his way out of there, but
पुश कर
pretty
दे
easy to read for GE. You would
केली
think.
केली पुश कर दे केली
See what they want to
Push
do.
up
काइली
the
जेनर
upper
पुश
though.
कर दे काइली जेनर
Jin still checking down towards
उड़ता
stairs now.
तीर भी है
Sights
उसके
being turned
साथ
back over in
मार दे
this
उड़ता तीर
direction.
उड़ता
Yudotan
तीर
fading away.
मार दे
Spots
उड़ता
out that
तीर
shoulder. Jinbung locked in position here for the
बाय
moment. Second
शॉट
Crystal
शॉट
Blue
एक
connection,
शॉट
gonna
अब
be
तो
taken
खत्म है
down.
मसला अल्ट है अपने भाई के पास
It's Jinbung. Oh my God.
Crystal भाई के पास
definitely
ult है।
through there.
पापी चिलो
That shot was just instantaneous, however.
Balls
May
bagged.
getting timing a bit. Kellyas from behind will be able to find that kill. So attempted a thrifty,
Pistol
some nice
is
shots
still
in the mix, but timeout call.
अच्छा खेल रहे हैं
Gonna be the
Proud
setup
Indian,
here
yeah?
on this round.
शीश
Really enjoying the way that GE is also integrating the Outlaw into some of these rounds. Like we've been seeing them pick it up against the Ecos to really not give DFM many options, many chances. Just one of those angles watching it. It's going to be real tough to get that sheriff shot to go.
पहला पीछे
Jay is
फेंकता
gonna grab
फिर
an
आगे
operator
फेंकता
though.
इसी से देखो
Still
इसको
sitting on a
पक्का मैं वही
showstopper for
देख तो मैं
what's
देख
it,
रहा हूँ
3-4 rounds now?
It's been quite some time, and I thought it was going to be something we saw invested in the
बोला ना?
previous round, given that they also went for the pit. But
ना balls will be
to
packed
be seen. Spot out there on the Jinbung Poppy, going to be being all the way here, well into the back. Patrick as well, just jumping out. Finds May with a shorty in hand. Crystal sends out the Armageddon. Jinbung absolutely obliterated. Jan just held in a position to flash across. Patrick on the swing.
You got to
Comes up
save.
with a kill. I mean, yeah, DFM immediately have to save. The execution here from Global just far too clean. Everyone from DFM on this C site getting caught off guard. It seems like the timeout in the end not going to lead to a round win.
Yeah, and you can see GE here adapting to a lot of the meta that we saw in Masters and some of the later stages of kickoff with, you know, the Breach Tejo, but also the Yoru. The Yoru is a huge part of this. You can get that ult. You can identify where.
या उड़ता तीर वही है देख
right on top of the majority of DFM. Akame and Art, okay, gonna get a couple. Not gonna drop the guns just yet.
I mean, but in the end,
अरे तुम लोगों ने बहुत पैसे
see
जो
to hold on to these.
गन
Nothing
गिराओ
else
गन
to
गिराओ
play for other than their lives. Ults are online.
स्टन 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 स्टन
Global obviously
चुद
have
गए
a hell of a
गुरु
bank.
चुद गए
As
गुरु
Kami looks to try to hold the
चुद
door, Art will be able to find that second kill. Poppy on the chase. TP across, back into the A lobby.
2900 के गन बचाने के
In the
लिए
end,
अपनी
Art will be the lone
3000 की
survivor.
मरवा ली है
Global Esports now up 7-2.
लास्ट
Yeah,
राउंड है ना
and
नहीं बहुत पैसे है
Global
बहुत
Esports
पैसे
is
अपने
doing a lot of
पास
things really well.
पैशन
And
कमी नहीं
DFM
है
is not. In terms of, frankly, the way that they're cycling their ults, the way that they're combining
Short.
some of their util and things like that, whereas it doesn't feel like DFM
क्या आ
has
रहा है टैप
like any kind of comfort
Three that
with
tap.
when they want to use the pit or the showstopper or some of their ults to kind of
Let's go,
try to
boys.
turn around or
Let's
try to get
kill.
something going. Instead, they're the ones playing on the back foot. GE, of course, it's the attacker
मार
side
दे
uploaded.
मार दे
I
मार
get
दे
it.
मार
It
दे
is
मार दे
generally the
मार
stronger side of the map.
इधर नहीं है
But I'm not
नहीं है
seeing
भाई
some
इधर
of
नहीं है भाई
the
बड़े भाई
ideas and adaptations from DFM that you would like
किलिस
to
भाई
see.
इधर नहीं है
And it's like they're trying to hide the
Crystal भाई देखो
showstopper
B
for like
पे
a big
दरवाजा
moment
तोड़ के
instead of just maybe using it to take rubble control, change the map a little bit.
Now you've got a second breach ult.
वॉल ट्रिगर हो गई
Built up here
ठीक है
from
बी जाते
Kellyas.
इन लोग पक्का बी जाते लिख के लो तुम ला मेरे
Straight
मैं
up
कोच
around
हूँ
this A site.
एनालिसिस्ट
Could be
कोच
pivoting
एनालिस्ट
towards
सब
B,
हूँ
where it's just coming
इन्हें
for the
पीछे से आ
moment
रहा।
by himself. Looks like Global going to look to try to explore this space
ना
here,
बी
make
के
sure that's
पीछे
going to
क्यों
be
नहीं
cleared
देख रहा
out.
मतलब डोर खुली नहीं है अभी भी
Maybe even cause distraction for the rest of the team as they get ready to attack.
डोर खुली नहीं है
Kame's in a difficult position potentially. A pinch being set up here by GE towards B.
Faces on for the first. He's able to find Crystal. Thinks about the Prowler. And maybe a pivotal
Yes!
timing here. Poppy is able to
Papi
find one.
Chulu
On the re-swing, we go ahead. Takes him off. Checks for a little bit more. Haunt now destroyed. As the showstopper into the corner.
I
Spot up.
see.
Yutan going to be blown to smithereens.
ah
Hit shell down onto the site. Coming with a repeat back in from main,
Anti.
hoping to clean it up. DFM
एंटी
at long last will break the win streak as they give
वहाँ
themselves
थोड़ा
a
इधर
third
लेफ्ट
round
राइट हो जा
victory.
बी पे बाहर
Yeah, this time around the timing
Bobby
there,
Bhai को पकड़
I
लिया
thought
सामने
Akame might be just screwed. But
Bobby
instead,
Bhai?
him and Art are able to find that timing to get ahead of the crunch attempt by GE.
Bobby Bhai की
Find a couple big
जय।
kills, got the
Bobby
Nightfall
Bhai-
online, threw it out there.
उसका जीते नहीं
Art doesn't get the immediate trade off that Nightfall, but that's okay. Akame's good for it.
देख
Now
लिया
you can finally use that showstopper, clear the corner pinch shells to clear the site. And then that is going to be a
कहाँ गया?
much needed round win. If you can make this
कितना
7-5,
बितना कर लो हमला जीतते आज
that's okay for
कितना भी
DFM,
ऐसे
honestly. If they
ऐसे
can win
ऐसे
these
सब
next
कर लो
couple,
आज
okay, you
तो
drop
जीतने
7
की
in a row,
मर्जी
big deal. It was defender side of Lotus. Definitely recoverable.
आज तुम्हारा भाई जीतने की मंशा से
Lot
आया
of attention
आज
now.
मेरे को डिसअपॉइंट नहीं
Using
होनी
the
चाहिए
drone.
प्लीज
There
गाइस
be TP in as well.
Double TP forward
बॉल्स
once again
पैक्ड
this
बॉल्स
time.
पैक्ड
Gian not in a position to go for the transfer shots. Art, however, just trying to sail through the wall.
पुश करोगे
It's just a
ब्लाइंड
shooting
पुश
gap.
करोगे
1-by-1.
केली भाई बोलते
Line of
चटनी
sight
चटनी
over.
खोलते
Global
स्टन
take
दिया सबको
every
ले
single
लिया
target.
अब गया ये भी गया
It just felt like
फ्लैश फ्लैश फ्लैश
trying to get ahead of the curve a little bit was DFM.
Trying to catch him off guard with some of these timings, perhaps. Either
Just
way,
Lado.
though, the pinch is there. Yudotan breaks through the door, gives him the bad news. Akame falls. Global now look for a 9-3 scoreline at the half.
Yeah, and some of these ideas that GE are implementing are very reminiscent of some of the stuff we saw from DRX at Masters. Some of these double TPs, aggressive positioning towards sight. Kind of keeping DFM a little bit off balance.
इन लोगों को पता क्या
Nice
चलता है
paranoia
फ्लैश हो
there.
गया
Make
बोलते
sure that no more further damage can be done. Yeah, the tempo changes from GE really
और
nice.
एक राउंड
Again,
9-3
gonna have an operator
9-3
and an
मेरे को डर
outlaw.
लग रहा थोड़ा
A lot of variation in what
Crystal
GE
भाई
brings to
OP.
the table. A couple of the players do have
Crystal
full
भाई
armor
पैसे
for
नहीं
the
थे
side of
Crystal भाई
DFM,
Crystal
and judge
भाई
for GN,
पापी से
and
मांग
judge
लेते
for Art.
शॉट
Jeez.
उड़ता तीर
Art
इन
a bit too slow now.
गवाओं
That
में
neural theft once
कहीं
again telling all. Pivot getting ready to come through. Looks like DFM does have the right
लोग
read
का
to start to go for
वुमन
the
नहीं है
pivot
ना
back over to
कंट्रोल
Aiden.
कैसे दे
Think it.
वो की नहीं
We'll peek back in
हम
from
मजे करेंगे
Waterfall.
अब
Slows up the reapproach here from Gian, who
अरे मस्त
would love to be in position a bit faster, given that he
मारोगे।
just has a judge.
मरा मरा के बोला मैं तुम्हारे को
I don't know if
सबको
like
पुश
the
करो बोला
elbow
ना
stuck
बोला
through
मियां
that smoke or something.
समझ
I
ना
know your
यार वो।
name stands
मैं
for
समझता
guided
नहीं,
missile,
कुछ
but
होता है
guided
इसकी बात।
bullets is that's just unfair.
जय बाबा
Kame
अरे
took his
मारो
damage.
ना
This is
स्टन है
by
वो
second. Gives them an opportunity, but Crystal's still here.
मत पीक लो
Both
मत
players
पीक लो
pushing in from his angle. Drone going to be sent out. Akame trying to keep them all held at bay. But there's the rolling thunder. Akame has fallen.
टैप तो करने दे अच्छा टाइम भाई है टाइम भाई है टाइम भाई है
Right now, it just feels like Jin has no hope in hell. Both players just stuck back at tree. The time is ticking
अब भी
away.
कहीं को
Just
मार दिया
no real opportunity. Trying to make a go of this one. A triple face finds the first and will end up falling 9-3 at the half. Global Esports.
अबे
Very
किसके
much answering all the questions we had about the integration of the roster and how they would be looking. Things look pretty damn clean.
Yeah, really, it's great
But yeah,
coordination.
that's
It's good ideas. You know, some good
अरे कैसा
sniping,
मारा रे
knowing when to implement the outlaw. A lot of just kind of ahead of the curve of DFM. The comp as well, really oppressive. It just seemed like DFM was getting caught out by
शांत है
utility
पापी
or
भाई
getting
बिल्कुल शांत था
outfought in the idea department.
तेरे तो ये सब मैं रोज का
Kind
बोल
of
के बोल रहा हूँ
scaled out,
अबे नींद क्यों आ रही है
rotated. You know what I mean? Like it's just everything was just going GE's way, and they were finding a lot more impact in just about every aspect.
So I was just caught off
Alt
guard.
cycle, that's the word I wanted.
There you go.
Yeah.
Caught off guard by the music here for a bit. Sounds like we're in a early 2000s like knockoff Matrix style film.
Yeah.
Shots of the action hero walking down a sidewalk or something like that after he just killed a bad guy.
It kind of does, yeah, a little bit, yeah. I could, if they would throw this in the Matrix soundtrack, I wouldn't be shocked, yeah. Or like, what was that Christian Bale movie?
Oh no.
Do you remember it?
Called like Ballistic or something like that?
No.
Which Christian Bale movie?
The one where he's like got like the guns and he's like doing all this like martial art gun stuff. Do you remember that?
I know
one?
exactly what.
They like had like the white like trench coat or whatever. What was that called? It's kind of a
Equilibrium.
Weird, Equilibrium. There it is. It's kind of a weird movie. But
I thought it, but I'll admit I did look it up just to make sure that I was correct.
yeah. Anyway. I mean, I'm concerned. Like, the first couple of rounds, I'm like, man, DFM, they look well drilled. They're playing off of each other nicely. There's good util. And then it all just went out the window.
All right, well, pistol round.
अबे हाँ.
At the opener,
Patrick
went the way of DFM, but
Patrick
as we jump into the
show.
action, dead immediately. We'll be calling here from beyond the grave.
8 को आर्टिस्ट बना दिया.
I mean, they're still trying to
मत कर मत कर
space.
मत
Jinboom
कर.
trying to create some attention towards the other side of the map, but
उड़द
to
दाल
me,
मत कर.
DFM is looking like they're not exactly sure where to go.
ले.
Ooh, Udotan had a chance. Went for that moment
Confidence
after
here,
getting the tag with his util and thought, see if I can catch him a little bit off guard, but Jinboom there lucky to get away with his life, in my opinion.
अरे V क्या इसके
Trying
इसमें
to go
V
this way. I don't think
They have no information about Poppy.
exactly. They
अम्मो
pinged the spot.
VCT
But
लगा
do
इसमें
they think
मिलना.
that's where Udotan went?
Now,
Pacific
Udotan,
F.
on the third attempt, we'll be able to find it. Jinboom going to be taken
Pacific
down. 2 players
VCT
lost.
Pacific.
Some
Oh,
decent damage onto
oh.
the lineup here of Global, but
नोटिस किया तुम लोग?
Nation still not
इन लोग के
quite
जो
getting their
एजेंट
hands
के
until May
VCT P
manages to
लिखा
find
हुआ है.
Patrick Hu.
मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटजी तो यार.
Site opened up a bit.
It's tripwire.
Time. Ooh, starting.
ची ची ची
to
ची
dwindle.
ची ची ची
Going to be cleared.
ची
May
ची
pushing
ची
away
ची
from Crystal
ची
on
ची
that
ची
peak,
ची
finding one. Jenny
मैं भी
getting
नहीं
down.
एक्ट
Akame
रह
does get
सकता
no
हूँ.
position to go for the plant. May is instantaneous with that headshot. Poppy, however, arriving, interrupts the spike plant. It's now just stranded here on the floor. 12 seconds remaining. It's May, sends out the paint shield, trying to buy himself some space. Gets drawn off of the plant. Challenges in for a fight, but he's just out of time. He'll find the kill. But surely, yeah, it is just
मेरी
too
फट गई
late.
भाई, मेरी
Off by
फट
a
गई.
hair. Global Esports.
ची 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 ची
steal
वेट
away
भाई.
pistol round.
Yeah.
But again,
Akame.
it just feels like DFM
जो हगाया आपने फिर ओ.
is a bit lost. The coordination, I mean, the call is to spread the map, but really they're lost on the
Hey,
positioning
and
of where GE might be, you know, almost getting caught out trying to go for an orb.
Yeah.
And then when you push into the site, you're not expecting 2 to be there. You kind of just read that it'd be a solo hold from Udotan. You know, you're only showing the Vice yourself, so you're just kind of like, okay, it's lurk player versus
GG
lurk
GG
player.
GG.
Now, let's see what we can get done. Let's see if we can catch him off guard, but GE not fooled in the slightest.
Patrick
The
Hu.
buy down.
Yeah.
Still not
Patrick
even
हूँ मैं बोल रहा.
overly strong. May able to get himself a Guardian, the full armor there. Otherwise, 2 Stingers, 2
मेरे
Sheriffs.
प्यास डाल के बनाइयो.
And Art's going to be
वरना
blasted.
चूतड़ पे लात खाएगा.
Not much of a cannon, I suppose. It's a Stinger.
अरे ओ. साला.
It's a mini cannon. I mean, in the hands of
डरता है क्या?
two, kind of a cannon.
Oh, sure.
ये लोग कोई बाई भी
They
नहीं है
play a
वैसे
very
तो.
different game.
Yeah, their stingers hit different
लेवल
for sure.
2 राउंड ही कब आते निकाल लेते भाई अपने वाले.
Just a walkabout behind
Setup.
the toxic screen.
कैमरा इधर है.
That
कैमरा
classic
उधर.
one
हाँ,
you'll see
समझ गया.
that cuts up towards a site.
अरे पर ये
all
बी
cyber
गई तो
utils
नहीं
here
दिखता वो
Kind of slow
दम-दम
things
इसमें.
up, and you just got a huge stealth drone over at
मतलब
C
बी का
past
बहुत
mound,
प्रॉब्लम
almost
है ना.
in the
बी
spawn
आने पे नहीं
for
मालूम
GE.
चलता
They
कि
know
ये
full
नहीं.
well that
Yep.
this is A.
Kalias already here. To guide them to an 11th round win. Haunt does get a reveal. Patrick Hu. Noted by that is Art pushing forward, goes for it. Swinging on the corner though, but it's just far too slow. And Patrick Hu drags across, finding him now spraying wildly into the smoke.
आधे round
One
है,
by
लग गया
one,
तो
they
लग गया,
shall
नहीं तो लगा
fall.
बोल.
Udotan
ओ बेचारे रे.
coming away with these
मुझ से
eliminations. 2 remaining players absolutely tagged up. Akame has been doing well, fighting some cracks, but it's not going to be enough.
करके भाग रहा है.
GE now up to 11. DFM once again broke.
Yeah, and it's just, again, GE winning in so many different ways. In this modern composition, they're playing it extremely well. Disrespecting the util a little bit there, getting the info.
ये कैसा?
That's a huge advantage in these compositions as well that GE is really abusing. You know, for DFM, it's a lot of trying to obscure where you're going. You're trying to use this double controller comp to keep GE guessing, whereas GE has a lot of tools to deal with that. They've got the drone, they've got the Cypher util, so they can get ahead of the curve. And DFM has not found great answers. The Teho utility is so
ये एक
impressive to
निकाल लो
control
उसके
space
बाद
as
तो
well.
जी
Not just
जी
with the stealth drone, but
जी
obviously with the salvos.
जी. India
Where
OP
DFM's
India
stuck in these bad
OP.
spots, they can use salvos to flush them out, get the kills.
एक white.
Really well thought out, really well prepared our GE for this
एक
map.
केक. हाँ. एक अंडा.
The util exchange outside of C, but
हाँ.
no one on the
अंदर
stage
केक
before
योग
the
ले ले
moment.
तीनों.
Once again,
दो.
scale forward over towards this A site a bit is DFM.
प्याज डाल.
And we're just behind the box, popping out wide, ensuring that there's no one working their way over towards this C site.
I'm not sure how much that camera can
Oh
see.
Jai, oh
Salvo's
Jai,
now back
oh
online.
Jai, oh Jai, oh Jai,
Thrown to
oh
lead.
Jai, oh
Chris
Jai,
getting a
oh
spot
Jai,
there,
oh
but
Jai, oh Jai.
bouncing away. Comment looking like he may be sticking around a little bit longer, but eventually the call will be to pivot everyone. The full forces of DFM
Please
getting
here
gathered
on
up here,
please.
ready to attack onto the A site.
मानन
Might
था.
be a pivot towards B if they can break through, but isn't that aftershock to slow them down?
You at least want to try to fake the pivot here. Patrick Hu now for the moment alone on the site, now dead. Swing out Yutan looking for a little bit more and does nearly find himself a second elimination there.
आए लग जाना एक बुलेट लगना. गेम क्या है भाई एक बुलेट लगा देता उसको.
Spike is planted. Salvo's too late to get the interrupt and Art now
पीछे आ रहा.
deep flank around the back. Just that sheriff.
पीछे आ रहा एक. Please पीछे आ रहा देखो.
See if this plan comes to fruition. We'll be going down through the stairs. Should be able to catch a timing
पीछे आ रहा.
here. Yes, the shots are noted. Now he strikes. Bulldog picked up, but it looks like DFM a little bit more fight left in them. As the time is just not going to be on Global's side. Tap of the spike defuse, just trying to see what they can bait out. Any peaks here. But in the end, DFM just not really giving them anything to work with. So GE, 2 players will save DFM. And will hang around here on Lotus for a little bit longer at least.
Yeah, this round, some good calling from Art and DFM. Able to kind of push forward, kind of take their time, keep GE guessing a little bit, show some thought about setting up that B crunch.
जाती अपनी इंडिया आज.
But it was actually all just trying to open up a little bit of extra space towards A. DFM's able to capitalize on it pretty quick there. May on point with the Guardian. DFM fans over in Japan cheering them on, hoping that they can string some rounds together. Maybe get a little bit of confidence at the very least. GE though, able to mostly buy up here. Still Guardian held over.
I think there's some hope.
Absolutely.
Bring a couple rounds together, extend this map a little bit longer. The analysts just walked back in and sat down, so that means that now they will have to, wait for 20 plus minutes for their segment to start up.
Overtime, please.
लग गया.
Hell of a turnaround here.
Maze one away from a showstopper. This could funnel this orb to him.
माल.
Again, it's more about confidence at this point for DFM. Sure, of course, if you were able to run it back and get a win, that'd be great, but that's very, very difficult no matter who you are. And just getting those rounds, we saw a T1 where get blown out of the first map. Sometimes just those few extra rounds at the end will kind of carry over into the next map.
कौन आ रहे? सी जाओ.
They're not.
खबर सी जाओ कोई नहीं है सी पे जाओ ना DFM सी जाओ हाँ सी
You can see B side
go and see
left completely open, trying to set up a bit of a fake towards C. A lot of util set that way. The GE's already there, so
Thorn's thrown, destroyed. Thorn's thrown, destroyed. May
लग गए.
be slowed up here.
Balls will
None
happen.
of Global going to be nearby, immediately evacuating as soon as they hear the showstopper draw out. Checks the close corner.
Let's go!
Same time, able to find one. Is Kame going to be taken down?
कहाँ से मारा रे बॉल बैंग?
Swing on with the corner, but now default plant coming through DFM. Spike in play. Kelly S lurking around the back. Art once again trying to go for this lurk timing here. Flash not going to connect. They look to double face. Now he knows that he's in a bit of a bad situation, but cannot run away.
Let's go!
Back in. Ends up along the wayside. A little bit of damage there onto the enemy breach, but kill cannot be found. GN flashed up, tucked back. Salvo's flying towards him. Looks for a little bit more. May with covering fire. Helps to try to keep him alive. Fault line.
Let's go!
We'll pick up a 3K and get Global up to map point.
yeah, and this is really good stuff from Kelly S and GE.
जाएगा.
Quickly identifying that Art was going to be lurking somewhere. And they're really diligent about making sure that he's dealt with, because he was hiding over towards C lobby.
Let's go.
And they were already kind of thinking about pushing in towards pillars. Yeah. It do be like that sometimes. But I really want to give a lot of credit to the immediate adjustment here. And that shows a lot of great preparation, great understanding, on the fly thinking. And it's going to be another final timeout, I'm assuming from DFM.
Time out ले लो जो भी ले लो.
Try to see if they can get some more rounds, get something going here on Lotus.
चोटी नहीं हाँ.
It's tough.
बहुत साल से देख रहा हूँ तो अपन हार रहे थे जी वाले. मैं सच में लकी हूँ रे भाई. मैं जो भी आज तक मैच देखा आज तक कोई मेरी फेवरेट टीम नहीं हारी. लिख के ले लो. देख लो तुम लोग जाके देख रिकॉर्ड में.
the start of the series that
सेन का मैं
pistol
लास्ट
into
में
the
अपना देखा वो
anti-eco
हार गई फिर फाइनल्स
should be a
समझ रहे ना
very
तुम लोग
calm, cool, and collected
Shakti.
little chat here from the side of Global
तू
Esports.
नंगा आ रहा है क्या मेरे स्ट्रीम
I
पे
was just telling
साले
him,
ओनली
keep up
फैंस
the
वाले
good work.
Patrick, who's having fun? First time on the stage, and they're having a roaring start. I like what you're seeing. A lot of laughs. Obviously, Filipino players on the squad. They are immediately
ओवरसीज
clicking
प्लेयर्स बोल के बोल
against hopefuls
गवर्नमेंट स्कूल जिला परिषद हाई स्कूल
Japan.
साले
trying to find a way, like you saw in the intro video before the game started today, that DFM
बनाता
knows,
आमलेट
they're
आज
cognizant of the fact that a Japanese team hasn't made a Masters in a very long time.
Yeah.
They want to try to change that, but this is not the start they were looking for sure.
Certainly not. I mean, you already highlighted how important it is, given the group find themselves in. Whichever team is able to find the victory here in the set, it's going to be a very big boon for them moving forward. On fishing here for some wallbang shots.
Aye.
Get up on top of the box.
रीटेक इजी रीटेक
Damage comes away with that
They're looking for
elimination.
passive
So
side.
segment out. In control here for DFM.
मार 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 मार
Have the spike plan. They look for a little bit more. Nightfall's going to be sent out over towards
Kaddu ka
Waterfall
fear.
at the same time. Patrick Koo puts a mask on, goes sprinting forward, identifying two players over towards this water bend. Paranoia crashing across. Gian, however, to win out the fight. The flank is noted, but he still comes away with that kill. Patrick good for one
Low
now
low
at
low
4v2. Salvo sent to just buy a little bit more time, but with 45 seconds
Isko-
remaining on the
Ah.
clock, and Gian still backstabbing. This round is
Isko
not going to be
maar
going the
deta
way
na.
of Global
Set
Esports.
tha
It seems this time for DFM, barring a miracle
Apne
from
ko fir
Poppy,
easy
something that he
hota tha.
has delivered in the past.
अरे खत्म
Should
कर
be
दो ना
DFM clinging to life. Slow push forward, finds that
एंटी एंटी
first.
एंटी एंटी कोई नहीं अरे एक दो रौना दे दो रे भाई एक रौना दे दो
Still some
फिर
losses
उन्हें भी
suffered.
खेलना है
The
अपन
body's
कहीं
not in a
वन
good spot
साइडेड
for
कर दिया तो फिर
DFM,
अपने
but
ऊपर
they
टारगेट
critically
ना
get the
फिर लग
round win.
जाती
Yeah, they're able to win a huge
जी
opening
के
duel
लिए
there,
हेलो
not suffering any casualties. And GN, this is
मैं
really
लर्क
important
करना है
stuff
तो
that he's
बता दो
winning these
ज्ञान
flank
भाई
battles. Kinda a little
Cheating
much
है ये तो
contest
ज्ञान
there
भाई
from GN.
अब
and
लर्क
the
कर रहे हो
Viper
ऐसे
on Lotus,
इंटरनेशनल में भी लर्क
pulling
कर
that
रहे हो
flank.
आयरन लॉबी में बोल तो बोल
Gives
सकते
over
हैं
that kill to
आयरन लॉबी में
Kellyas.
ड्यूलिस्ट ही
Kellyas
लर्क
gets
करता
the
साला
Rolling Thunder, and that could be a very different round very
मेरे को
quickly.
मालूम मेरे को दर्द कितना है मेरे को
You can
मालूम
see
लर्क कर रहा हूँ
there
उसे
that,
तो
trying
मैं
to
लर्क
use
करके
that
लॉक तो
your
मारूं
ult to set up
मर्द के जैसा
for that
सामने
retake.
आके तिगना
If you could find that one kill, get
नेक्स्ट
another
मार
ult
ले तो जाओ
going, just end
हमारे
the map right
पैट्रिक
then
हूँ
and
भाई
there, but DFM's
मैं
GN
पैट्रिक हूँ
comes
बोलो
up
तुम भी
big, keeping the B site lurk under control. This time
ये
around,
खाली छोड़ दिए
leading the charge towards A, and
अच्छा इको है
DFM
they've seen enough. DFM's
Yeah.
like, yeah, we're not going to contest the C side this time.
लेट्स
solve
गो
the riddle. Managed to drift over towards the correct side of the map, so no one, no util, no nothing here for Global on this A site.
तेरे को प्याज ही डाल दिया पूरा
It's going to be at least, it looks a bit of four-man push through that A lobby side.
Just a smoke and some salvos were enough for DFM to try something different.
ऐसा
thing
मार
is,
दे रहे हो
though,
तुम लोगों में
Global Esports, if they get any kind of advantages, they'll be more than willing to pull the trigger on these ultimates. And it's not a full push across the wall. Players still going to be locked down here for the
पापी में
moment.
घुस जा रहे हैं आप तो उसके अंदर ही पीसी के अंदर
It's a good read for DFM. They're going to avoid a lot of that util.
Paranoia dodged out there by Jin Bung, just able to drift away from it. Pushing it ready to come through.
Ah!
Right before the flash connects, Jan. Taking Patrick Koo's
Jan
head clean
bhai.
off the re-swing out here, and that's just going to be them lining up. 3 kills here for the side of Jin Bung. Kellyas all on his lonesome. Thinking back over here towards stairs. Eventually will fall. Flawless round for DFM. Much needed. As it's 6 to go, 6 tries for Global Esports to bring this map to a conclusion.
Yeah, and again, this is about confidence here for the side of DFM, and some good reads from Art in the last couple of rounds. This one again, the only util that was used off the rip by GE was a smoke in the salvos, and that was enough to kind of let them feel a bit more confident. You know, obviously GN not receiving any contact, any resistance at all on the A side at Rubble also made it a little bit easier. Kind of lean towards that direction, going up against that eco. This time though, the Rubble control will be contested.
Art's
Art.
an absolute lunatic.
Yep.
TP's forward,
know.
he's here within the smoke.
क्या
Kellyas
दल्ला
just
स्मोक में
watching,
इसमें
waiting for the
छे
exit.
इसमें छे
It's like Art wanting to
इसमें छे केली भाई
see.
इसमें केली भाई
The paint on the Prowler is actually gorgeous. Very well set up. Kelly's on the floor once again. That rolling thunder not going to be utilized here in the round.
There's method to the madness for Art this time. Great combo again. Reminiscent of some of what we were seeing early on for DFM. A bit of a spread now for GE, but they're really leaning towards B. They seem to feel pretty confident because Yudotan has been watching Mound and hasn't really seen much. They can lean in this direction. Poppy right around the corner, gets identified.
Jump forward here, May, despite being caught up in the tripwire, still able to find a shot. Crystal finding a trade there, but Jinbung catching Yudotan on a bit of a linger. Dead at the door switch. Now the C site wide open. And for Patrick Crystal, there was no other recourse but to sit back and save.
Yep, 100%. Nothing else to do there. Yeah, a couple just kind of wild plays from DFM. The early TP from Art. Getting Akame to come and help. Getting that kill. And then May just sending it in for the cause there. Gets another kill, and that's enough to break open enough space on the map to get the plants, and you win the fight towards C Mountain. Good to go. So DFM starting to kind of work the map a little bit, starting to get some good reads on this GE defensive setup. Gotta wonder if, sitting on 2 timeouts, you might as well pull the ripcord on one of them.
Yeah, about to go into, 2 rifles. We'll see if anybody else really puts any impact behind their purchases, but there's 2 rifles carried over. The rest going to be on a bit of an eco here. Here right now, or if they delay, wait for another full purchase. Either way, I don't think that they would mind it too much. DFM now winning 3 in a row off the back of their own timeout. But the timer is going to continue to tick down.
Okay. Showing some trust. I mean, in general, I've been super impressed with Kelly S on this map. The way that he is calling for GE has been really, really good. He has mostly been ahead of the curve. So
I also want the team to be able to make these pivots and, suss things out on their own.
That's true. Especially now that you've got a new player coming in, you want to get them comfortable with each other, being able to communicate in the heat of the moment.
I'm looking for a bit of a crunch play here. 3 players still on the approach from Mound. Jan some shots through the smoke to just try to fish for anything that he can get. Able to find another. Poppy with a headshot onto Art, and suddenly the round starts getting away from him. Rolling Thunder gonna be dodged out. The spike is absolutely stranded. So deep into the spawn. And this is noted for DFM. Is this how it ends? Is this how this map comes to its conclusion?
Well, you got to send Jinbung trying to create that flank angle so you can actually get to this spike. Poppy so aware of it, already holding. And there's still some time. GE doesn't need to move a muscle. Just need to hold their angles. And instead, they're going to double up on this B push. Try to see if they can take Poppy out.
Starting to make some noise here. Jinbung eating a bit of damage. Kelly has 5 HP, but on this deep line of sight angle. As the swing out is
Let's
good.
go, India!
Like Global Esports will show why they did not need the timeout. A crunch play that goes sideways for DFM. 13-7 is the closeout. Global Esports win their map pick alone.
A lot to love here. The composition with the agents looking really cool. They've got some great ideas with some of the combos with the ultimates and the utility and those kind of things. Some great play calling. Patrick Hu came out, had some really impactful first kills for them. That's exactly what you need out of your duelist. Comes in, doesn't look like it mattered too much that he wasn't there for kickoff. Seems like they're integrating him very nicely. DFM, on the other hand, looked good at the very beginning. After that, it was very rough sledding the rest of the way through. Not many rounds where they're really able to get their feet underneath them. What Global Esports is trying to do.
A bit of a rough center of the map here for the side of DFM. It started off so very well. I mean, Jian still level up performance. Kame, I think a decent shout out given how he was fragging the whole way through, even with the team's struggles. For DFM, Aiden kind of stroked this one off. Second time they played Lotus this year. Second loss that they do suffer. They have their own map pick of Pearl coming up, and the last time they played it, 13-1 is how they bested Paper Rex. Will that happen versus Global Esports? I don't think that degree, that severity of lightning is going to strike twice on the same map, But they're feeling confident, they're feeling comfortable when it comes down to that pick. And we'll have to see if that is going to be enough to deliver us that map 3 of Split.
Yeah, not everybody's EDG where you can 13-0 on a map twice in a row, but you know, for sure, you would expect DFM to be able to bounce back on their map pick and kind of get things righted.
Well, we shall see, but for now, we will pass things back over to the analyst desk here in a moment to get their thoughts. Let's break down from the side of Lotus. We'll go ahead and send it back over to Victoria and the boys.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. 13-7 on Lotus. DFM tried their darndest to turn things around, but I have to say this is a really great start, really great showing for stage 1 by Global Esports.
Yeah, for sure. I think they came in with a good game plan. You think back to GE in kickoff, you know, they had to play with a stand-in. Things were very disjointed. They didn't even look like they knew how to play some of the maps in the pool. This one included with kind of a weird comp that they brought into kickoff. This time we see their team as they originally envisioned it. They all played well across the board. They had a good game plan. They had an execution-based comp that they used to force and oppress their will upon a DFM who looked completely unprepared for it.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised by DFM a little bit. I feel like GE were playing the Breach Teo very much as we would expect,
yeah.
And I kind of felt like DFM were never able to counter it. It kind of looked like they'd never seen Breach Teo before.
They didn't look like they knew what the comp did really. Like they were getting flashed through that A wall, like the most default flashpoint that you've seen from Breach. And you have to say, like, this is not an uncommon comp, guys. Like the core of this comp, the Omen Cypher Breach is a combo that you've seen for a long time. You used to see it in combination with like a Fade Raze or something like that. Obviously, Teo Yoru is a bit of a different flavor and maybe speaks to the current meta of the interaction of the Yoru with the popularity of Vice on this map, for example. But yeah, DFM, they just looked really, really flat. And compared, I guess I already compared with GE with themselves in kickoff, but DFM, remember how free flow and well prepared, and they had good game plans and they were playing off each other so well in kickoff when things were going well. That was about as far away from that as possible. That was back to 1 or 2 players on DFM show some promise, but overall the macro is a bit confused and the players are not delivering well across the board.
Yeah, I mean, if you're DFM in that back room, you're just going, it was a warm-up map, guys. It was a warm-up map. We got there towards the end. We're fine. Let's look ahead to Pearl. That kind of thing.
Yeah, you know, they did look a little sleepy. I think, as you boys were saying, Pilsky especially, it did not look like the kickoff DFM, this fiery DFM that looked really scary. And now, Morgan, take us through this.
Yeah, this is the Breach Teo stuff. It's very, very strong towards A. We saw it again and again. I felt like G, at the start of the rounds, they're using that reusable util, the Teo missiles, the Breach stun. They're able to take that space with Yoru. With Omen.
आरसीबी गई क्या आज आईपीएल 53 नाइट राइडर्स बॉल्स मेरे को भी वही लग रहा है गाइस आज की प्रेडिक्शन दिया था जल्दी 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 प्रेडिक्शन चाहिए प्रेडिक्शन दे दो प्रेडिक्शन मेरे ख्याल से तो आज आरसीबी हारेगी गाइस आरसीबी के ऊपर सट्टा मत लगाओ क्योंकि विराट भाई आज फर्स्ट मैच नहीं खेलते विराट भाई अच्छे से नहीं खेलते फर्स्ट मैच विराट भाई को ओपनिंग भेजने का ठीक है वैसे भी आज केकेआर जीतेगी आई एम अगेंस्ट आरसीबी सीएसके को हराया था ना पिछली बार इस बार एनएचके नहीं होगा भाई आप लोग फर्स्ट मैच जीतो क्या करेंगे अपन नहीं यार बिल्कुल रिस्क नहीं आज विराट भाई चल गए तो इन लोगों के पास बॉलर कौन है भाई आरसीबी के पास भुवनेश्वर कुमार हेजलवुड इंगड़ी ठीक है दयाल भाई यस दयाल भाई लास्ट ईयर बच गए आप लास्ट ईयर वरना आपको तो भगाते था पर माही भाई तुमको जो भगाते थे ना कहीं ना देखेंगे भाई कल है भाई कल है मैच इसका प्रेडिक्शन देखो भाई वो तुम लोग इसका प्रेडिक्शन देखो बस ये मैच का प्रेडिक्शन देख रहे हो खाली इसको बोल भाई प्रेडिक्शन देखो ना भाई हाँ इसको बोलते हैं बैटल ऑफ गोलायथ है कि नहीं? इसको बोलते कि नहीं बोलो? इसको बोलते हैं बैटल ऑफ गोट्स। एक जगह CSK, एक जगह MI, एक जगह धोनी भाई, एक जगह रोहित भाई, एक जगह ऋतुराज गायकवाड़, दूसरी जगह हार्दिक पांड्या, एक जगह पे पाथिराना, दूसरी तरफ बोल्ट। मजा आएगा यार। एक जगह मुकेश, एक जगह दीपक चार। यार कल है मैच, कल है भाई। जो ओपनिंग में आके से गए तुम लोग, इन लोगों के पास कौन है भाई? मुंबई इंडियंस के पास ओपनिंग कौन है भाई? सूर्य कुमार यादव भाई, सूर्य कुमार यादव भाई, शेख, दीपक हुड्डा, रचिंद्र रविंद्र भाई। कल स्पिनिंग में रविंद्र जडेजा। कल डेडली डुओ वापस है। यस गाइस, डेडली डुओ वापस है। कल CSK जीतेगी। कल है मैच 53% 47%। मैच तो है कल, कल मारा जाएगा। खत्म है मसला कल। ऑफ कोर्स पतिराना है, ऑफ कोर्स पतिराना है ब्रो।
अभी मैच कब है?
मैच कल है।
नहीं
PRX. So we'll see what they prepared here on Pearl, but you know they've been a bit up and down, and you can see GE they've got a dub on this
Making
map.
mixed
They've played it
statement,
a
you-
little bit.
Also, I think with
Making big
DFM, like
statement,
when they
RCB
managed to
हारेंगे?
beat PaperX in that dominant fashion, they just
Manga
won
to
map
do.
one
Last
before
time
that,
we
right?
lost.
They suddenly had
Who
all the
winners?
cards, they were able to play with all the confidence, but
Yeah.
now the shoes on the other
Shakespeare?
foot, they just kind of got slapped on map one. So being able to bounce back is very important, but I wouldn't expect that kind of dominant scoreline. But again, they've picked this map for a reason. We have to believe that they have ideas. I'm curious to see if they can change
हाथ
that
का झापड़
composition or
मार
not.
तो उड़ के
Yeah, you're
गिरता।
gonna see GE shuffle something again because a lot of this is kickoff
Lockdown
data.
kid,
They've
guys.
changed roles.
Sorry,
They're probably gonna
sorry,
change up
sorry.
the comps a little
Lockdown
bit, as
kid.
you already saw on Lotus. So you're not really sure what
Lockdown
exactly you're
kid.
going to expect from them. At least looking at the officials, I'm sure that
आठ का ना
DFM is
पाँच
going to
का
have some idea from what they've
उसमें
been playing in
राजस्थान
practice
रॉयल्स
and
में।
all of that kind of stuff. But I totally agree. I think for DFM, that free flow
सूर्यवंशी
game
उसका
that you got
कुछ
from
तो है रे
kickoff
भाई।
is not how they
सूर्यवंशी
stepped into this
उसका
game.
भी है रे
They
भाई।
looked very
13 साल का
slow,
है।
very
तू
sleepy
14 साल
today,
का
and I
क्या
already
उखाड़ा
said
रे?
it earlier in the
ले!
pre-show. This is the game that these two teams need to win against each
भाग
other
गया।
to make the rest of the group go
मालूम है
well.
मुझे, ये
If you
बोलते
just have a
कि
slow
भाग
start to kickoff and DFM is forced to try to make some upsets happen
Balls,
against
balls,
some of the more
balls, balls.
difficult teams in the group, they might not be going to playoffs, guys.
When
After
you're
a
beginning
really
the
nice
yo.
performance, 5th, 6th over in kickoff,
Yo.
they might just go
Excuse
straight
me?
back to where
Yeah.
they were.
When we are beginning the next
fantastic
match.
point. This is a very critical first match of stage 1 for that exact reason. This is going to carve the rest of your pathway over the
PRX का match
next
है।
2 months. And you guys put them, you put
कब
Global
देखेंगे?
Esports DFM kind of close together, almost in the A-B range here. Does anything change here, or do you think DFM might be waking up? Do you want to give them a second chance?
I mean, the series isn't over. We can't move them before the series is over. I mean, my advice to DFM right now is wake up, guys. Come on, adapt. Stop playing the Valorant.
Pacific
Come on.
Pacific
They already know,
South
like that.
Asia Pacific है ये।
Like we've all had games like where
Pacific
you
को
like
मार दो।
you're in the coach position and you're watching your team go through the motions.
ऐसा
That is
भाई
exactly
उनसे
what that
ना
was from
हो।
DFM, and it's a really frustrating
This one!
thing when it happens.
Yeah, they just, I felt like they weren't adapting at all in that first map. I felt like GE used their ideas again and again and again, and just DFM had
Even
no
when you went to the
answers.
comms, like Akami made that big play, and then we got the player comms, and they were like, "Nice guys, yeah."
Yeah, where's the energy? Where's
Against
hype?
PRX, they're like, "Yeah, we're the best."
Stand up, throw your monitor, get involved. That's
Yes!
what I want to see.
Let's go!
Throw your
I'm in.
monitor. We do not
Throw
need a
your
tech
monitor
pause.
at the
I don't want a tech
team.
pause. But you're right. We need that energy. The same energy that we saw them walk out on stage with.
Yeah, exactly.
Like maybe they didn't
अरे
have
दीदी
the
जल्दी
blow
start
toy
कराओ
this
यार।
time, so
चलो।
like, I don't know. That,
Honestly,
Start
that throw your
करो।
monitor
शाम को
reminded me
RCB
of
का
those,
हारते
like,
हुए
you know,
देखना है।
Insta posts where it's like, you don't want to go to work today, just throw your monitor at the other team. They can't ask you to come. You do not have to work today.
भाई RCB हारती है भाई फर्स्ट मैच।
They're
तुम लोग
going
कुछ भी
back
बोलो,
to your
RCB हारती है
16
फर्स्ट मैच। तुम लोग कुछ भी बोलो, RCB फर्स्ट मैच हारेगी तभी तो जीतेगी। फिर लास्ट में कमबैक भी तो करना है। कमबैक होके फिर क्वालीफायर में जाके
go in it because they are just playing the Sova instead of like a double in it style that's a bit more flexible.
Yeah, I mean, I think this
जल्दी
chamber's
जल्दी first match
obviously
हार
going to
जाता
want to get the upper.
RCB लाइक जल्दी जल्दी फर्स्ट मैच हार जाता हूँ, बाद में फिर कमबैक स्टोरी भी तो बनाना है। जल्दी जल्दी कमबैक स्टोरी बना लेता हूँ, फिर क्वालीफायर में मिस आउट होना है।
more if GE is going to get the 2-0 to start off stage 1. We're going to send it back to our casters, Achilleos and Paper then to take it away.
RCB है यार, RCB के इसमें है यार।
Let's get
कब
ready to
दोष?
jump into Pearl, I
Eh?
think the one thing we can all agree on is, yeah, that 13
Royal Cup
not
bouquet.
going to be something that DFM is likely able to achieve once again here versus Global Esports.
रॉयल कप के भूखे
Say, we think that, you know, they're not going to get that again.
Yeah.
It's a gift for
बेचारे
2-0.
यार
Yeah,
That's on the cards, right?
sure, why
मेरे को तो
not?
बुरा
I
सबसे
mean,
ज्यादा
I'm all
2016
about it
का
if it
लगता है
happens.
यहाँ
I'm
ट्रॉफी विराट भाई
quite
अकेले मार
curious
के
about
चले गए
DFM coming into this map because this is a very different comp from what they ran against Paper Rex when they 13-1 them. There's no Tejo in here, for example. The other thing is, this is G2's comp. This is literally the same comp that G2 uses on this map. And so you need to rely on players like Akame to do their best Leaf impersonation, shut things down with that chamber, be really proactive on watching the flanks, taking mid control if they're going to try to mirror that in any way. Because that's something that G2 does super, super well with this composition, is they're really annoying on this attacker side.
पुश कर रहे क्या
Trying
काफी
to lock down mid, and you can see GE's already trying to get ahead of it. There's a spot on the Patrick who, there's a flash waiting
डैश मार देता
for
है क्या है।
Jinboom. Over towards mid, but they're already out of it.
Scaled quite far forward there in mid. Looking to back away. He's getting tagged up, avoids getting taken down here. Share of shots at Patrick, who is down so very low. 8 HP now remaining. Solid
इतनी
damage.
छोटी नट्टे गाइस
Still an
इसको
opportunity
कैसे
for
टाइट
Patrick to
करोगे
find some impact here in the round.
That's opened up the orb at the very least, though, for DFM. Now they're going to seemingly set up for the B crunch. Although GE has an okay read on this. Trying to play
पुश
into
कर
the
रहे क्या ये
smoke.
लोग
Trying to catch DFM off guard, but they paused. They're waiting for the reinforcements. Good shot from May.
क्या
Finding himself all 3 players here on this B site. Knocks him to the floor.
भाई एक्टिवेट कर लिया भाई
Rest of the team
चीट
wraps
कोड भाई
around.
चीटिंग
The
एक्टिवेट
connector
कर लिया
spike now
आपने
planted.
4 सेकंड बनना है
Pseudo
अगला
Poppy. Try to see if they can do some damage and turn this back into their favor, but a 2v5, quite a bit to ask. Even if it is from these 2 players.
Shot.
Yutatan though on the corner, snappy with the first
Double
shot.
है क्या?
Has managed to find a Kame. Chamber on the floor. Much more do you look for before you call it quits and just look to try to die to the spike? Jinboom going to be noted here at Halls, just playing ring around the Rosie, not wanting to give him the opportunity as Yutatan does get tagged up here. Jinboom able to go ahead and snap on, and May pushes forward past screens, gets himself a 4K, and DFM get another pistol round win.
It is really funny to me because this is G2's comp, and DFM is already kind of playing it like they do on this attacker side. They're very patient, they're very methodical. I mean, obviously it helps when May is just doing that. Pretty impactful stuff, but another thing that G2 does really well in this composition is they're really ready for trap plays. They're really ready for their opponents to try to catch them a bit off guard, and so is DFM. So tip of the cap, able to win another pistol round there. Gonna be the outlaw for Akame.
Some mobile little recon. Intentional or not. It's cheeky to say the least. Nothing going to be noted there at A main. GE, similarly to what we were seeing on Lotus, just looking to very much play this death ball style. So 4 players clustered up on this A site. Papillon is lonesome. Over here at B at Halls.
Yeah, and that outlaw, so good on rounds like this about making sure that flanks are controlled. No kind of cheeky lurks are easily able to get through. They're just going to keep marching forward towards B. May at the long side, waiting, any kind of contact. They're going to try to squeeze Poppy out. He's just going to slide back in towards the defender side tunnels. And yeah, should be kind of a patient play, I would think. Maybe Poppy tries to pop through, gets a couple shots in. Art's got the regen shield though. Now Poppy should just back out.
Yeah, just going to be forced away, down to 44. Any rotations getting ready to come through. Akame able to find one. Yutatan going to be put down here by the outlaw. And Wiley GE likely just going to get clustered up and wait for this spike to go off.
Should be the play. And it's exactly how you drew it up here as DFM. Able to get some good value out of that outlaw and kind of force the issue in the next round for GE, but they didn't buy up. I don't think anybody bought anything.
Nope.
Just all classics, so.
Classics across the board.
Should have full armor.
Yeah, so Konami's going to be in a pretty stable spot here. Some maybe minor util investments there. You can see Yudotan at 1600, but either way, Spike will go off. DFM will flawlessly carry forward all of this weaponry as we get ready to go into their bonus round, and GE just going to go down to the Spike.
All right, really curious now how the game plan opens up for DFM and what GE's responses are going to be. You know, you're basically forced into a position where you have to buy the full armors. That's the value of this Outlaw. That's the value of the Chamber on this map. One of the values is that you can put your opponents in economic odd situations. So what is GE going to be able to do? And you know, as DFM, you're going to want to play slow. You're going to want to play methodical with this double Sentinel composition. Try to keep GE corralled and try to find that weak side of the map. Kame trying to get ahead a little bit.
Oh,
huh?
Second shot connects.
क्यों भाई?
Lucky to be alive.
क्यों के लिए ऐसे जा रहे हो?
Down to 10 HP. A bit whiffy there on the start, but still some damage dealt. Looks like Kame considering scaling forward and looking for a little bit more.
GE there hiding their players, trying to keep DFM guessing.
Poppy,
Hey,
but Shoulder's going to be spotted. It's a little tiny bit of damage through the box. So fake out goes his way. Ultimately,
भाई
turn
लोग
away
को भी
from it,
डाउट
but
होता है
takes time to go into the astral form.
कहीं ये
Up a
कमी ना
little bit
कुत्ता
more
तो
util as the
नहीं
drone
जो खुद ही भाग
pushes
के आ
forward
रहा है
into Art, but it's getting cleared out. Continue to disguise May behind that box. Nebula up, Art going for the bait.
Ball's
out.
packed.
Comes up, gets away scot-free.
balls packed in लोग
DFM approaching this very methodically, very wisely. This was just a rotate as well from Patrick Huji. He just sprinted across to the B site. Right now, that Jet is not here. Trying to counteract. Still though, 3 players trying to grind through here is push out of the
अरे
smoke.
यार
He just doesn't know which way to look. Jinbung able to find 2 as Kelly has
आओ
Crystal as well. All falling to the floor. A solid shot. Patrick who will find
पीछे 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 पैट्रिक को
but Jan around the back still on these lurks. Comes away with the kill, and Yudotan now with nothing more to be done.
क्या बॉल है
Trips the wall. They'll know exactly where he's at. Not really in the spot to go hunting too deep, but this is going to be a bonus conversion. DFM looking absolutely fantastic thus far.
Yeah, and it's taking a lot of, you know, what G2 likes to do on this map and implementing it themselves very nicely. And you said it well, they're being methodical. They're working through all the util that GE is trying to set up. Getting through that, you know, there's a double Sentinel on the other side of the map as well. It's a very different looking double Sentinel because you have the KJ instead of the Chamber. So you have to be extremely thoughtful because you can get caught out at a moment's notice by an alarm bot, or you walk over a nano that isn't checked. Things like that can all of a sudden change the destiny of a round. So you got to like what you're seeing from DFM. They seem very ready, very well prepared to kind of dissect and surgically cut apart the defenses that Global Esports wants to put into place. Jinbung there doing a great job. He's been looking really good today.
All too casual to be able to come away with that 3K. Now just the one rifle carried over here, staying in the hands of Yudotan, it would seem. Sheriffs for everybody else. Couple half armor purchases, but Inakame is just like, well, I'm just gonna keep using this Outlaw forever, I guess.
Yeah. It's so powerful if you can get some of these rounds going, if you can win that bonus. It makes it so difficult for your opponents. You know, yes, Yudotan is going to have the full armor, but nobody else will. Although, it seems like DFM is realizing they left a little bit of space open. Better double check.
वो लोग को पता रीड कैसे कर रहे हो लोग
No one had pushed through towards shops. Creeping their way forward, but this has allowed GE to get a pretty good read. They haven't had any kind of contact over on the A side, so they can quickly rotate all the way over. Going to use that smoke, get even deeper
अगर ये राउंड निकल रहा
into halls. Now you do have that Yoru, the ability to kind of potentially throw the clone through, throw a flash through, try to clear out that hall's position.
Who just spotted the recon, not getting cleared fast enough. Through the wall.
Oh, shot.
Kill does come through. It's Kelly S. Tucking away, able
Shot!
to two, and suddenly the round is absolutely
Ah,
shot.
nice one.
Finding another, but Kelly S with a third Sheriff shot. Thorn's thrown in. Akame Sliding forward over towards screens, making some noise here, but now is all on his lonesome, just that outlaw. Try to keep him in it, but seems like
let's go, let's go, let's go.
things for DFM do not come in fours. Is once again
मैं लंड हूँ भाई, मैं हूँ ठीक है,
into a thrifty loss.
जीतना चाहिए बस, मैं लंड हूँ.
Ended. Global Esports
मान लिया मैं.
themselves on the board.
And this is all about map control, and you know, with an eco buy, things just kind of fall apart there for DFM, and they're just kind of not calming well, in my opinion, about those Hall's positions. And they fall apart because of it. You're not using that Euro util to clear that Hall spot either, to kind of make it easy for Global Esports. You know, you're not anticipating that, and it really works a treat. So another good call, another good round for Kelly S with the MVP on map 1. Spot on to Patrick Who.
लेना पीक ले.
Going to challenge this.
अरे डरते क्या?
As well for Akame. So
इन्हें भी ऑफ ले क्या?
not liking that.
डर नहीं लगता तेरे को?
Want to give them the opportunity to
डर नहीं लगता मौत से?
Akame so far forward here towards Art. Two players though right around this
अरे
corner.
कैसा
A
जा
high-low
रहा
setup
है
for
बिना
Crystal
डरे
Poppy.
ऑफ ले ले कैसे?
Crystal there. Should
चेक
get
कर
the
चेक कर
spot
कॉर्नर
back.
चेक कर कॉर्नर चेक कर.
Okay, yes, doesn't actually check behind the box, but the shot from Akame does not connect either. Just for a repeat, a little bit of a jiggle out now, teleport back across. The dimensional drift in from May, just scouting out the A site. Some information gathered. Do they read that he's tucked away here?
Hey, side पे पापी. टीपी मारा.
Scales forward up into that smoke, just sat there quietly. I want to flush him out. The wall still not broken here.
Smoke.
Things very much get slowed down, but Chien hits a hell of a shot on Crystal.
Shot.
Dead there at Flowers. Kelly S on the repeat. We'll find May. Gets the punish. Art going for this plant. Do they just timing him out of the smoke? Looks like the answer is going to be no, but here,
let's go! Let's go!
Back. The flash is so damn clean.
एक
All on Jinbung. Can only find one. Kelly S.
आप लो साले के आप लो.
As he nearly pulls off an their second round win.
And they're doing a great job here of keeping DFM guessing. And again, the diligence is sort of there for DFM, but they're not really being cognizant of another stacked smoke push out.
Chamber हगा ना.
Able to deal with it in the pistol round.
Chamber छोड़ दो यार.
Here in a different spot, they're just not quite ready. May gets caught a little bit off guard, but Kelly S is just all over the place. Great setup with the Vice Flash as well on that push out. Starting to feel like they can start turning this around. DFM having a rough go of it. Still have enough for another operator.
आने दो सबको में
जाने दो. So they're gonna heavily invest. Try to keep that chamber firing.
8 जाएगा 8 से.
No, Akame was whiffy on that opening shot.
Oh, but he hits.
इसका फिर से आप कैसा है भाई? पैसे कहाँ है इसके?
Set up, trying to bait for Patrick, who had just silently slid in behind the box there at A main. A very good shot.
इतने पैसे कैसे आ रहे इसका ने? होले का ने पैसे बैगन अब भी आप खरीद के बढ़ा और फिर से आप खरीद लिया.
Still the vice wall to cover that angle if there is any kind of lurk out there. A lot of util to clear through here. The double sentinels.
Flash out on the push. This time Kelly S not going to be given the opportunity to go for the heroics of the previous 2 rounds. 3v5. It's DFM. Oh, shot going wide. A little bit too much movement there from Akame, but either way, covering fire from the rest of his teammates. They're able to find Yudotan. And that now.
जो इजी शॉट है वो हग रहा. जो हार्ड खाली गांड दिखा उसको मार
दिया. Really try to play for this one. You know that there's multiple players on the side of DFM that are dangerously close to some critical ultimates. The Cosmic Divide, the Hunter's Fury. And you have an operator in play. Patrick Who does have a plethora of cash, but it seems like the call to save has been made. So DFM not going to be allowing for Global to tie things up quite just yet. Look at themselves a 4th round win.
Yeah, it's going to be really important that Akame is going to be impactful with those snipers. He's able to find that big opening first kill, not giving the opportunity for Patrick Who to trade. And that jiggle peek kill, absolutely devastating for Global Esports. And you can see Global is always trying to set up these little tricks, these little traps, try to catch DFM off guard. Worked a couple rounds in a row, but this time around DFM going to get the better of them. Doing a great job being diligent with clearing the util. You know, another trap play set up with the flash. outside of mid connector towards the doors. That's dealt with. So DFM this time around able to come through on the better end of it.
क्या हुआ इतना blur हो गया ये किधर?
Just kind of march their way forward towards the site. That's a big win.
Yeah, a bit more to cheer for there. As timeout call will come through here for Global Esports, their first of the series.
Sorry. इसमें देखना पड़ता.
Like.
Well, and I think you probably want to talk about some of the ults that you're going to
यार
have
जी
as
जीत
GE.
दे यार,
You have
please जीत दे यार,
the
please
Vice
जीत
ult,
दे.
you have the Sova ult,
जिता दो,
so you've got some
please.
ability to play
अरे
retake
हारते तो
or
बोर
to maybe
मारता है
set up
रे.
another
जीतते
kind of
तो
trap where you
मजा
catch DFM on the execute. So you might want to talk about, okay, how are we going to use our util to try to get the information on, get the read on how we play the round. You know, if you can catch them at the right time, you can throw those couple of ults down, really keep DFM from being able to get a comfortable plant in, or just try to flush them out of a retake setup. But it's difficult, you know, with the Vice ult and with this composition that DFM is going to be running. If they can get a plant down on B or something like that, use those sniper rifles, it can be really, really tricky to try to get some value out of those situations. So a lot to consider, a lot to talk about as GE. They are going to have still have an operator of their own, still able to get the full buy going. Like you mentioned as well, there's some big ults that are almost in play for DFM as well. So could play for the orb. You can see that they're trying to buy a little bit of extra time and space. A really good confirmation, or it's gonna do a little bit of damage in the razor vines.
क्या कर रहा है क्या कर रहा है क्या कर रहा है किली 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 ओ किली किली
Can't widely shrug off. Shockdart looking for that follow-up thorn, but
तोड़ दिया
a little bit deeper, more central to the site here.
और एक का
And that to me again signals that this is some kind of trap play
और एक भी है ना वहीं पे
to try to disrupt the plant, to try to disrupt the execute. They've got a couple players stacked though. Another high-low setup, sort of, but drone actually
back, but no, it actually cut. Yeah, it does cut
Zabardast
across over towards
बैठा,
that B
दोनों
side.
Yep.
And instead, I mean, they just face forward.
Let's go.
Crystal eats an immense amount of damage, but Art eating a little bit more. Takes the headshot there from Mutaton, is able to find a kill. Hunter's Fury going to be gained in death. As Thorn's now going to be popped here, dissuading them from pushing forward onto the site.
I'd be very nervous about this if I'm DFM.
Flash out, the pace coming through, and Kelly
अरे
S
बेचारा,
go ahead and collect two.
लगा उसको लगा लगा
Hunter's Fury now from Crystal, just hunting, trying to see what he can find, but now just down to
कर दे ये सुल्तान कर दे चटाई पकड़ लो ना साले को आप खींच लो साले की
for the side of Global Esports. Just that operator hand hits the leg shot, anticipates the close angle, doesn't have the op out fast enough, tries to go for a flick, but inevitably will have to go ahead and rendezvous out to safety. The time will dwindle.
अच्छा ऑफ है ना
Timeout
तुम्हारे पास क्यों फिर छोड़
Global Esports will work a treat as they get themselves a third round win.
Yep, really like this timeout from Global Esports.
खत्म है मसला
Kind of
ऑफ है ना तुम लोग गंजा
similar
है कहीं
ideas,
से
but
लाना
you know, you don't even have to use the Steel Garden from Kelly S because they just found a great timing on the execute to just get those kills. So you're still able to keep that in the back pocket to go up against this big ult cycle that DFM has coming into play. Potentially just really rip this half away from them. But you know, I'm kind of starting to get a little bit concerned here for DFM. They're not really kind of reading these trap plays on the A site when they go for it. That's a couple times where it's just a swing out around that box and Kelly S finds a couple big kills while DFM is walking down that ramp from A-Link.
Jump across. Patrick Koo trying to look for it here. Shots both sides. Both going to be going a little
wide. लगता ना
unscathed.
मैं छोड़ देता था गेम
Patrick Koo pulls back over towards Halls, considering a little bit of a repeat, but looks like he'll opt to hold the safer angle. DFM though, no rotations, no thought of really playing around with A. They're just going to go ahead and really look to storm their way forward into the B site before any kind of reinforcements can come through.
Reading the
Arsenal. On the ultimate. Weapons taken away from the side of DFM here for a brief little moment as Yudotan trying to go up and over the top, but it's going to be a shot there from Jinbong.
चढ़ा क्यों उड़ तू?
Go ahead and finish off the enemy KJ. Drone still guarded now in play. No one going to get caught by that. The Cosmic Divide as well going to be exchanged on both sides, just absolutely dissecting the map, cutting it to pieces, and Kelly S trying to look for a timing, trying to catch them off guard. It's a falling to the wayside. He's in control now here in the hands of DFM, but Shockdart at the feet. Decent
See?
damage found as May flash
See?
opened up, and that's the last one that he has at the ready. But as the wall falls, it's going to be Crystal, who actually manages to find Kian and May. A 2v3, the drone not going to be finding a damn thing. Star set up for the pull. The recon going to be lobbed in. Quickly cleared as the spam begins. And Art wins it out. Another tap from Crystal. But there's just realistically no hope in hell. Would have to be an ace clutch. There's just not enough time for him. Even if you can get the eliminations, you cannot get the defuse. Team ace for DFM.
भाई डिफेंसिव मैप है अटैकिंग मैप है बता दो
for global esports to get a tied up scoreline.
Yeah, the patience is paying off for DFM again.
अटैकिंग मैप है तो बता दो.
Just sort of slowly but surely working these angles. Yudotan goes for a timing play.
Tell me this.
Yeah, that's nasty. Crystal is. We know how good he can be. 3 kills in that round, but again with that chamber with. The operator with the deep post plant positions onto the site, really tough to deal with that, especially with the double sentinel composition. You know, a lot of times it's going to be hard to find those flank lurk angles. Patrick Hu, so aggressive, but the drone to clear.
ठहरता ना लोड़े का ड्रोन ठहर के मारता साले को.
Hu just looking for yet another peek, really trying to limit test there. The tailwind
Patrick Hu कर देता.
Well off from the angles. As Yudotan pushing forward, trusts that it's going to be a fake out.
I need to stop.
Fall for it. Patrick Hu now going to take his.
देख के रे रे देख के.
Try his
Shot!
block. Does manage to stabilize that shot. Looked like he was going to be off, but it's the hit.
Shot अरे ये
GM now dead. Smokes taken away from DFM.
And you can see there, setting up
यार अपने आप
sneaky plays on both sides of the map.
All the walls there, and Art is completely
Spike down, spike down, spike down.
Thorn's now popped on the opposite side. Kalies just staying tucked back. Reinforcements a world away, but it seems like he likes his odds. No one looking to really join in alongside him in this position. There's a spot out there, onto one player. Now look at the try to
Sheesh रे.
Kalies still doing well to come away with another.
Let's go. साले ऊपर. Patrick Hu नाम सुना है क्या छोरे?
Spike in hand, 19 seconds left on the clock.
Patrick Hu बोलते अपने
It's
को.
just going to be a save for the operator in all likelihood.
मैं खुद बोल रहा हूँ मैं हूँ
Maybe
Patrick
the
Hu.
call says, you know what, we don't need it.
ये भी
I
गया.
do have a tour de force either way. Crystal
Crystal clear shot.
Global esports
मजा आया.
continue to keep this
आशीष मारो प्लीज आशीष मारो इन लोगों को.
And again, it's,
और मारो.
you know, kind
और
of
मारो
a
इनकी
game of
फाड़
cat
दो
and
मजा आ
mouse
जाना
between
मेरे
these
खाली.
two teams.
कुप्पा मजा
Whose
आना.
trap plays can work better. And when you're able to find that opening pick as Patrick Hu, a really nice play, a really high tempo move there. Get up under the screens, get the shot, and get out to get that opening kill.
Samine hey waka waka hey Samine Khalifa with some of Africa dum dum
So they
dum.
want to make sure that they don't fall for the same thing twice. There goes that chamber ult you were mentioning.
Shot.
Oh my god, dude.
He's starting to warm back up. Another fast peek and kill there for Patrick Hu.
Jetty क्या दे?
On the floor, not necessarily as devastating
Drone
as
to me,
losing
drone
Jet,
to me.
given the util available. So far, really being allotted over to DFM.
Samine
GE wanting them have to really fight to gain any kind of information.
डिविल
any
मारता है
kind
ना
of
6 सेकंड
space.
में इधर मारता है इसके पीछे दीवार पे देख मारता. नहीं मारा मेरा नाम
Such a
बदल
good
दे.
read on this. There's a deep turret over on B. So that's allowing them to slide to the other side of the map. Kind of cover A a little bit heavier.
Ball spanked.
Helps when you get the spot onto Akame as well. Or Art, excuse me. And
चिपका हुआ इसके लिए अच्छा
getting
खेलते अच्छा मारते.
a little bit dicey. Crystal gonna get ahead of this wall. Are they gonna be ready?
Waiting for the timing. Spots up the first. Pulls the trigger. Finds it. He had to be taken there by May, but he delivered right into Kalies' hands.
Ball spanked.
Akame only able to find one.
Shot.
Art
ऐसे.
down to 5 HP. It's global esports this time. Looks like they will jump the hurdle to be able to tie things up in the map.
Yeah, with Yudo
Time मिल ले.
No time to shift to the other side of the map.
इसका गन भी नहीं है दल्ले के
Might as
पास.
well just be a save at this
उठाता
point.
क्या?
Grab a gun here for Akame. Sit and spawn and hide and wait this out.
बकचोदी नहीं
Timeouts,
यार.
DFM. Try to reassess some of what's going
Five
on.
all.
You've got one of those high tempo executes.
Good switch भी
You
हो
can try
सकता
to dial in right
7-5
now.
कर दो.
Kind of turn things around. This is just again these trap plays.
गया
They're just
ले
not
home delivery.
really reading the timings of when and where
बे आपका
CE
parcel
players
आया.
can be when they can push
Dio.
out of those smokes. You know, you just don't anticipate it. That's really been the name of the game, and the adaptations haven't really always been there for DFM. They can win those opening kills if they can win some of those opening fights. That's when they're able to kind of really work the map methodically. But Patrick, who again, trying to get into the cubby. Bit of a bait there by Yudotan. Is May gonna
इसको पेलो
test that, try to challenge it.
पैट्रिक भाई
Just gonna set up the arc rose.
मैली
but-
को पेलो मैली को
Yeah, okay. TP out, please. Do not try to
चले
go
यार
for that
फट गई
angle.
मैले
That's gonna
push
open
कर
up
push
space
कर
for Yudotan.
push
He's gonna try to
कर दे push कर
challenge him a bit.
Okay, dimensional drift considered here. The gate crash goes through. Oh, he gets that ult off just in time. An attempt at clearing the gate crash, not quite going to connect there with the shorty. Spots out both players, gets himself over into Halls. Akame at the same time just pushing forward into the connector there, and Poppy just taken down. TV back out from May now.
क्या मार दिया रे
Pivot.
चलते सीधा
DFM
सिर
once
पे
again turn their sights over towards A.
सीधा सिर पे मारा बोला
Players nearby. Recon not spotting anybody over at main.
खोल दे सेटअप खोल दे
A quick jump peek there from dugout on the wall now. Just waiting for the swing. Clears the thorns. Shock dart. Base of the stairs to try to slope the approach. The thorns very much locking everyone in place.
पहल तुझे
27 seconds.
देखा
Looks
तो
like a
दिल
pivot call is
मेरा
going to be made here from DFM now, sprinting their way towards B.
धड़का
Yudotan still here. If you can find one from
But
Halls,
anytime.
that lockdown can come out.
मार दे ये
Just
मार
waiting
दे
patiently. Footsteps spotted. The shot there. Swinging forward. and
Let's go!
And kills them all. And Art will find one. Make it.
No time. Balls will happen.
It's out
Balls
of their
will.
hands.
Balls
You've done so quiet, so patient.
balls will happen.
deadly.
Balls
Gets
will
GE
happen.
The round win. 3 in a row. To now move up 6-5.
OP
Kind
Crystal
of
भाई
awareness is falling apart for DFM.
Urut-
He's gonna
Urutan,
see those
Urutan.
feet right underneath that one way. Uses
मार
the smoke
ले
against
किसको
them
फर्क पड़ रहा मार
so
ले
nicely.
मार
That
ले,
was DFM
मार
smoke,
ले,
by the way.
मार ले.
And it worked
Urutan.
right into Yudotan's hands. And they're not clearing
Same
hall.
thing,
We've
man.
seen this a couple times where they're not dealing with that very crucial position. I mean, you look at the teams that are really good on this map, it's because a lot of it, when they go B, they're clearing that hall. You know, you see like
कितना गंदा है यार मैं
T1, for example. They're throwing their duelists into that hall to make sure it's clear. Every single time.
पहले
Buzz in particular.
तुझे
It's going to be one of those players who's making sure that that part of the map is theirs. And now you've got an ult here, like you said, for
अरे
Yudotan.
शॉक डार्ट मार के
Used it
तोड़
in the
देता मेरी
previous round
जान
when I thought he might just to go ahead and ensure it didn't need it. As Crystal peek out, Crystal. Finding two, the Hunter's Fury, Patrick Hu, Yudotan both going to be taken down at the same time. But they have to respect this lockdown. They have to peel away.
ना दोनों कैसे मर गए
Spike not yet planted, 55 seconds remaining. There's the Nebula obfuscating, stopping the drone from getting too much, but a blind shot still
रोटेट
goes
कर रहा है
through.
रोने ओए अच्छा इसका सेटअप है बोल के लाइट ले रही है ना
Quite a bit invested from both sides. It's gonna
6
be
6 भी
global
ठीक ही है
esports.
भाई
Sitting in a slightly better position. Full HP armor across the remainder of these players. Art down to 5.
It's been so slow, though.
30 seconds left.
DFM is really unaware of what's going on in the
They're
map.
fully believing it seems like that this is going to be a hit onto the A site. And Art is, he's here to try to sell this one. He's passed the spike over.
पुश कर रहे नहीं
The wall activated now. Noise being heard here. Kame just basically having to sprint. If he gets interrupted at all, it would just be the end of the round, but they're still running low on time. 8 seconds remaining.
Crystal.
Takes it to the site, looking to go for the plant. Shock dart. Attempted the bounce, not able to find it. This time the spike does get planted. It's in play. 3v3.
अरे
3v2
5
is
HP
Art
था रे ने केली
on the
भाई
linger. Finds the IGL of Global. Thorns popped. Stopping any attempt at a Hall's push. Kame to get a little bit more damage. Jinbunk. Last unscathed player is Crystal.
5 HP 5 HP 5 HP
5 HP.
Let's go!
But it's going to be Poppy left standing as Global hit themselves a 7-5 half. This is after DFM convert the bonus.
और घूम के आओ.
What a run back.
Switching sides.
Yeah, they're just doing a great job of getting the read on things. I mean, so far, I'm really, really stoked about the way Kelly S is running the ship. He is just captaining GE so nicely, and they are just keeping DFM guessing. You know, DFM trying to make some cheeky moves, Art trying to sell that they went over to A when they're actually doubling back towards B. That gets them to plant, but then they kind of spread and they're not able to win some of these 1v1s. But in general, just GE has a lot of these cool, cheeky ideas that, you know, this comp is actually kind of built to sort of deal with. G2, that's when I was watching them, you know, in the lead up to Masters, when I was watching them at Masters, that was something they do really well. You know, EDG would try to throw all these kind of trap plays, and they just kind of handle it nicely because you've got a couple TPs, you've got some ways to kind of handle some of that pressure, but DFM doesn't have those protocols built in yet. They were getting caught a lot of the time and not really able to keep control of that information game often. It was really GE who was ahead in that regard.
Right now, DFM needing to be the ones who are following the instructions on the sign. Widely quieted after the start of this map. It's been Patrick who the one who's
DFM
filling this
like
arena with noise.
Pathetic, Baba. Pathetic.
And I will not claim to speak Tagalog, but
Gone. It's gone, Baba.
Choice
Baba.
words thrown out in some of these post-round replays. But given the way that he's been playing, hey, you've absolutely earned it.
No doubt. He has just been stellar today in every aspect. May out in the open, able to TP out. Trying to bait a bit for Akame, but he got spotted. Turret there as well, so not really a ton.
Oh. Would have been a hell of a shot. Rendezvous back into the corner, but they pretty much exactly where he's gone. Just pinned.
भाई ये पैट्रिक को पहले कोई किसी और टीम में था ना जब मैं पिछली बार करा था वॉच पार्टी
but as the Nebula comes up, he will be able to reposition, keeping him covered.
G2 में किसमें था?
Trying to set up a crunch plate in towards B Link. A and Art trying to cut this off. They're gonna have to cede control of the B side over. They can get this flank under control. Could still be good.
Oh, Art able to find one.
Easy
Poppy
trade, easy trade.
trades it out. Takes a little bit of damage. Is made.
Nice trade.
Timing. Seeing the shock dart fly.
Nice.
Confirm the kill, and Poppy's just holding down the door. 1 for 1 on the map. In pistols. 2-2 in the series. Global Esports now with a 3-round lead.
Yeah, if that trap play doesn't completely eliminate GE's play, they don't have two players there, if it's just the one, you know, then May could feel a lot more comfortable to swing down, but they're just reading DFM at every twist and turn. May stuck in a bad spot, had to go for a hero play, couldn't convert.
Let's go, Papi Chill.
And GE looking like they might just take this map pick of DFM away from them, get some revenge from kickoff. DFM was able to take them down. Tap of the orb and high pen guns.
Oh.
Well, speaking of, it's a good kill for Yudotan. Catches Jinboom just out on the side on B. Maybe just the timing with the smoke there.
We'll see it back, but Global not looking. See any advantages. Very nice. Shot there from Akame. Finds Kelly S. Cluster up here from DFM. Call expecting this push here on the A site, but scale forward could just go ahead. Sign out for the rest of the team. Signal to them. This B site widely is opened up. It seems like DFM are acknowledging this potential timing, though. Thought of a pivot back, but
second guessed it.
Yep. Are going to be sticking around here.
I don't know if maybe some footsteps got heard by Akame or something, but I thought maybe GE was too far for that. It's just hard to say. What convinced them that it was in fact A?
It's gone, Baba.
We're going to know here in a second.
B side is gone. Pathetic, Baba. Pathetic.
And there's the bad news. 4-player group up, 4 headhunter bullets in the hands here of Akame.
Tough time, Baba.
Let
Tough
go
time.
of it, get a little bit more damage here, perhaps. Pulling off the Thrifty. Just given the way that GE's been playing. Seems nigh impossible here for them, and they might even really try for it. Maybe some picks onto the exiting players, perhaps. Akame swinging out, tailwind over the side. Updraft from Patrick, just trying to stay a little bit more elusive here. It's tiny bits of damage. And okay, eventually will get taken down. May find Zinatan.
Okay.
But the time, not really going to be there. It's just all about damage from here on out. Seems like that might just be the end of it, and it is. 2 players surviving. Once again, not too bad here. The damage.
What happened? Balls happen. Balls happen. कुछ भी नहीं होता है इन लोगों से. Balls होता
up to 9 all
balls.
the same. A massive win streak now across the 2 halves.
Yeah, you're really going to need to have a little bit of that and more. Just a jiggle peek.
Jump pick लेगा.
The smoke was even up.
जा पूछ क्या.
And long range gunfire.
Jump pick लेने जा रहा था. Jump pitch करा
Working a
दिया.
treat. A little bit of Astra util in there for good measure. Not that it was really needed.
अभी एक round निकालो बस.
But you're not able to carry much over.
उसके
Guardian,
बाद
Bulldog. And you got to buy up a little bit. Stinger, Sheriff, Ghost. So GE here with weak weaponry. Try to challenge this
TP किधर है?
position. Akame is holding down. An off angle.
3, 2, 1.
Who has
3,
already
2,
gonna have to be
1.
Johnny on the spot
3,
with
2,
it. Finds
1.
the first
Nice.
overstays though. It's out for a little bit
मारता है,
more. Not
इसके लिए
necessarily
लालच बुरी
anticipated.
बला है
There's gonna
भाई.
be a 3-player push in from Art.
सच में भाई लालच बुरी वाला है.
Speaking of, on the crossfire. On the side, able to find one. Patrick who going to be put down. Solid advantage gain here for the side of DFM as they need to prevent this bonus conversion.
एक में एक तू
Trying to right the ship. Jian,
हगा
bit of
एक
damage there on the
ये
crystal, but
ज्ञान
unable to
दे.
find the headshot.
ज्ञान भाई जो ज्ञान भाई तो
Kind of
ज्ञान
waiting this out.
भाई ने
So
हगा
careful.
है देखो.
If he can't win a 1v1 against Poppy coming out of Link, this could be very fruitful for GE.
Oh, he just pushes up into the smoke.
That's one way to deal with it.
He's able to play off the damage previously set there on the crystal, so finds that kill, giving his life to the cause.
30 seconds left.
Plan
DFM
दे
from here
plan दे plan दे
can't really
सीधा
afford
plan
to
दे.
have any more players lost.
बी भागने का टाइम नहीं है. अभी
20
बोल रहा
seconds remaining.
हूँ. Shot रे.
Kelly S is still able to find a kill. May gonna
Shot!
take it down. The swing out. Jinbung dead. All of the copy is instantaneous with a headshot. Bonus is converted. The streak continues. Global Esports. Absolute domination. 7 rounds in a row.
OP GE.
Just a great idea there to
OP.
overstack that angle.
भाई क्या प्लेयर है भाई.
Force that chamber
क्या
into a
मारा है
bad
रे केली.
position. You have to
Papi,
TP after that
papi.
first kill or else you're
अगर मारा
in trouble
फिर
potentially.
सीधा one tap.
10 seconds
Doesn't
left.
happen. And then Art, this position here
So,
on
too
A, he has
silent,
no
huh?
help.
Too silent.
He has to either win the battle
मैं
at
रहता
A
तो
Link against
चढ़ के
Poppy if
नंगा हो
Poppy
जाता
pushes that
था.
angle,
अगर मैं उतना मारता
or just
था.
do what he
तो
did
रुला देता.
and just kind of die for the cause there to try to
मैं
slow
रुला
GE
देता था.
down.
ठहर
But
के रे
then
बैगन के
that
बाद.
opens up the sight for GE. They're able to get the plant, get the post plants.
झूल.
There's no real backup and coordination in that position for DFM.
झूलो.
work through some of these
झूलो.
defensive
झूलो.
setups a little bit more, in my opinion.
Balls बता
Make
दूंगा.
sure that
बेचारा आने दे.
there's backup ideas there. There's something else other than get the one and done. Need a
अब
little
तो
bit
खत्म है
more
मसला. Level
coordination.
5.
We've seen a lot of that
ये
from
नहीं
GE
हगना है
today.
ना
They've
बस.
been doing a great job.
खत्म.
This time Akame not
नीचे और एक है, और
able
एक
to
है.
find the headshot. Yutatan picking him down. Quick little jiggle peek out. May does find the follow-up headshot.
इतना क्यों घुसना है?
Potentially recover the weapon, but for the moment does not have any kind of gate crash set up to try to rejoin over on this A side a little bit faster. GN does manage to find one, dodges the shock. It's about the re-peek,
Nice.
but Kelly S just strafing over. Finds the kill. There's the follow-up Thorns. Gets situated.
कद्दू मेरा. उसके पास गन भी नहीं होते अच्छे.
Just trying to hold them in place. Flash at the ready. The drone to try to check May. I don't believe he gets caught by this one, and the second shot is able to find Poppy. Crystal, however, there for the punish. Comes away with the kill. Full
Yeah,
flash
yeah,
there
yeah.
onto Kelly S. Forces him into the back of dugout. Because realistically, what do you try to
आए
do
हाय
from
क्या
here?
होता समझ में नहीं आ रहा मेरे को.
Attempt at the thorns, but quickly cleared the recon. Over the top to just try to get some kind of eyes on
आए
it.
हाय
Swings
इतना
the corner,
intense
comes up with 2.
हो जा रहा मेरे साथ.
Global
जरा
esports.
कर दो ना रे खत्म कर दो.
Now just
Intense
2
मेरा
rounds
चल.
away from closing out this series and slamming the door in DFM's face.
I love these post-plan ideas from Global Esports.
Balls
That
back to
positioning
mine.
with the spike causes a shock dart to miss, so they can get the spike down without taking any damage, and they can play this post plant because they've got control over secret, set up a crossfire with dugout,
ये तो है
make it really, really challenging for
मस्त
DFM
लग जाता है रे लोग
to try to break that open. A really nice on-the-fly idea. Works a treat. You do have Maze ult here. You have the operator for
घुस गया
Akame,
रे पैट्रिक सीधा.
so have to be turned around right now for DFM. That's almost all of your cash invested in
क्या
this.
स्मोक है?
You know, yeah, you've got enough for another buy in the next round.
पूरा
More or
कवर
less,
कर
but
रहा रे.
GE's got time and money on their side. They're just waiting out. Gonna get ahead of that wall, maybe.
इन
No,
लोग में भाई है भाई है भाई
Goes
है.
up over the top, catches a glimpse there. May eating some damage, eating a death.
क्या कॉन्फिडेंस है रे?
Eventually the kill is
इसका
found.
कॉन्फिडेंस होना मेरे को जिंदगी में.
Jinbong tucks here into the corner. Thought maybe he'd go for the spray, just try to get the wall bank shot.
सिर दिख रहा है, मार रहा उसको टक टक
Attempting
टक
it, but
करके
the
उन्हें.
spike is already in play. The plant is
किसका
there, and
divide
now
है?
there's a cosmic divide
अपना?
staring them all in the face.
अपना है.
Well, they're all gonna group up and try to push from the other side of this cosmic divide.
ऊपर चढ़ा दल्ला ऊपर चढ़ा.
Could have created a flank angle, but
This is where you would love to have the dimensional drift still at the ready. Push out though. Quick peek from Jinbong, able to find one, but Kelly is situated. Up close, gets rid of Gian
अरे
Art,
2v
falling
है,
moments
easy है.
before. 2v3, you have this off in play. The time is not on your side. Purely DFM, you have to get out of here.
Gaya.
Consolation prize perhaps as the tap does allow you to draw up this Hunter's Fury. But this round, this
क्या
match
बोलती
clearly is not yours. Global Esports
पब्लिक?
will get up to match point.
देखिए आज मैं देखा पहले DFM कर रहा है कभी तो मैं देख रहा हूँ मल क्या रहा है देखिए तुम ला मेरे को जी वालों हायर कर लो
it's,
द बेस्ट वॉच पैटी एवर
it's
बोल के
difficult to watch
मैं
this
कसम बोल रहा हूँ
because this DFM
मसला-
team looks
मसला खत्म
scared.
कर
They
दो तो
look like they're
मैं अकेला.
not
Bings by
confident in some of their
Jinx.
decisions. They're not creating flank angles. They're not trying to work against the ults of their opponents. And
आंटी
I would say if you're going to stack up
Andy.
behind this cosmic divide, you make a great point here, Achilleos, that not only do you not have Maze ult, but you don't have the flashes either to try to break through to the other side of that cosmic divide.
Balls,
So
balls,
you
balls,
need to
balls,
create
balls,
flank
balls,
angles there.
balls,
You need
balls,
to go
balls.
through art and clear that, and then try
ये
to make your
कांगारी विले
retake.
कांगारी विले गाइस
Instead, they just try to go for a kind of a flood play. Just gets shut right down. Plus, there's the cosmic divide there.
भाई वहाँ चले जा ना
That's
उनके
not
स्पॉन
great
पे चले जा
There's no exit.
आजा स्पॉन पे आजा हमारे आजा आके ठहर जा इधर आके
Lick misses.
वहीं पे स्पॉन हो जा नेक्स्ट राउंड से
Ronnie moves not
भाई,
go
हम क्या
out.
सोच रहा है रे पैट्रिक हु
Just trying to reposition Art desperately. Everythly hunting here for a kill and will be
यार
rewarded with one
पापी
bot
भाई
being
यार
down, so
तुम
at
भी
least able to
कहते
trade one out.
कभी कभी ऐसा करते क्या रे तुम भी
And that's the smoke's gone.
यस
makes
स्मोक्स
this
इज
round-
गॉन
In theory,
Now watch.
quite a bit easier. Patrick who's so far forward, Art able to outduel him.
ठीक है कोई ना
It's a big win for DFM.
Only with 3v4.
तो जिगल जिगल भी नहीं कर पाए पापी भाई तो बेचारे
Kelly has
क्या मार रहा रे
damage,
ज्ञान
so
मारना सही से पट्टे पट्टे
Maybe dead
वो
quite
भी नहीं
just
मार पा
yet,
रहा तू
is whittled away at down to 40 HP.
देखो मैं कहाँ हूँ टीपन भाई वाला देखो मैं कहाँ हूँ वाला
More
सीन
likely to be the conclusion of the map, but
They have no idea.
तुम्हारे
he's
लौड़े
got
लग गए तुम
different
लोग लौड़े
ideas.
लग
How
गए तुम लोग लौड़े
patiently
लग
does he
गए
play it is going to be the question here. GM at the same time able to find Kelly, so now he knows that he's running out of time. Spots the first player. Would love to go a little bit deeper, get some more information, but instead we'll just settle for killing the Jinbong here at Flowers. Now invests the lockdown.
Oh, and that alarm bot, so smart.
The swing around the back, the fake out, catching a shot. Jen able to find the kill there. It manages to strike. Crystal comes away with one. May still here, sending out the flash. The time is just not going to be on his side. They play it wisely. DFM not overstepping here. They will get themselves another round victory, breaking a huge win streak from the side of Global Esports, ensuring that this series does not come to an end quite just yet.
Is my math
चल
right?
जा तू चल जा रे
Cool. I mean, it takes these opening kills with a Hunter's Fury to essentially turn this round on its head, and still Yudotan almost makes a brilliant play there.
हट
again, on the fly, unorthodox stuff, but I love the way he uses that alarm bot so that he can cut towards Secret to make sure that he can, he knows he's outmanned in that situation, and using that alarm bot as an extra person, basically. Smart stuff. Doesn't work out, but, with that dimensional drift available for May, but you're able to bait that out. So, plenty of time here, plenty of rounds to work with for GE. Up and over with the blades, doesn't get much.
Eyes at the ready, May able to find one. Escapes the gate crash, but down the 9 HP. Push for Art, just gonna be absolutely massacred as Kelly is so far in. Poppy now finding GN, and it's starting to unravel. Spike gonna be planted. Ult invested, weapons taken away. May dropping down out for Flowers. Kelly S having to backpedal, shifts away, but Jinbuk out of the Nebula. Poppy clearly just not quite registering it. Ends up getting eliminated, but 2 players are so May survives. He's in with a headshot, Crystal. No util to speak of. You can see the frustration there in the player cam, realizing that it's just not worth for him to try to fight this one out. The fuse comes in, DFM find themselves a 7th round victory.
Yeah, so this time, well, you're able to stop the Blade Storm from really doing a ton there. Yes. Trying to break the site open. Him and Poppy doing a good job, but this time around DFM coming from a couple of different angles, and May just holding the line at Secret there. GE kind of feeling pretty confident. Again, they have some rounds to play with, so they're allowed to try to push towards Art like Yudotan did. Try to push towards Secret.
This has occurred to me that they still have 2 timeouts.
Who does?
DFM. They haven't used a single one. GE's the only one that's timed out.
Oh.
Might come to
I guess you're right. I hadn't realized that either.
All right, well, a loss of May. Akame able to go ahead and find Patrick Hu, so a trade on the Duelist, but Akame down to 10. As things grind to a halt here. We just see what they can figure out around Art, but not much being gained here.
Ultimate's ready.
Strong spots out 1. Kelly S now ultimate going to be online. Might just pull the trigger on that once this Vice Wall is gone on B.
Just going to use that Steel Garden.
Pushes Art forward.
So smart.
Yudotan is there. Ready to find that elimination. Tien holding the door. Jinbuk says, I got a classic. That's fine. Buy the bundle, baby. Peeks in. Yudotan going to be taken down. Now the Spike is stranded.
Baby. Spike
All 3 players stacked up. GE would have to just brawl their way through this. So they're on the flash, headshot instantaneous. Jinbuk with the 3K cleanup. It's a DFM still afloat.
They brought weapons made of metal.
Please, ये throw ना हो जाए यार.
I love the idea again from GE. Using that ult to flush players out, but fortunately, GN, whew. I mean, there have been some snappy shots from DFM, but the game plan widely has been much better for GE. And who's actually taking the timeout? Who actually pulled the trigger here?
It's Global Esports.
It's Global, yeah. They're using their second. Still really 2 for DFM.
Not feeling quite as confident, perhaps, on the closeout here as they were on Lotus. We didn't have to really see any intervention.
No way GM chose
this time. Calling for the pause. Wanting to ensure that they are able to bring this to a conclusion.
Cinema?
Let DFM take this all the way into overtime.
Very curious. This can be one of those rounds.
Guys, if you don't
remember what the economy's looking like here for GE, but try to go for something.
I believe it's not in a great spot.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was feeling.
But here's the biggest concern for me.
Yeah.
Start of the map, bonus conversion comes in 3 in a row for DFM.
Yeah.
Lose to a Thrifty.
That's correct.
How many rounds in a row? DFM just won.
Opinion matters.
3.
And GE's on attempt.
Surely. So you're reading the tea leaves.
Surely. It doesn't end like this.
You say that. I mean, you've got an operator, you've got a couple ults.
Shit!
You got a dead operator.
Go dead up. Patrick over the top. That hero rifle. Trades it out for the operator. Cloudburst covering fire. obfuscation there as
अरे
Jen
इसको
will
नहीं
be
दिखा क्या
do
हुआ?
well to go ahead and ensure that that remains on the floor.
Well, now he's got problems.
He is able to get away, not taking any damage.
Fortunate timing on that jiggle peek, but it does see the operator back
कैसा
over.
क्या सीन करते हैं लोग
LAS
समझ
this
में नहीं आ
time.
रहा.
Change of directions, change of ideas. Art and May trying to set up just a check there, getting some info, but it's actually a step ahead of where GE was coming. So Art all on his own here. There's no one else anywhere near this.
And he is in such a committed position
Amen,
with
amen,
nothing
amen, amen.
to play around with, nothing to really work for him. The recon not used, hits the first shot, hits a second, and that might just be enough. Cosmic Divide now going to be called out, but already Yudotan pushing well past that.
30 seconds left.
To be widely unconcerned. He looks to try to flood a little bit deeper, fight forward. Cannot find more. Crystal now.
उधर ही
A 1v2. The up in hand.
उधर ही
Tap with the
है
spike.
सोवा भाई.
Now we'll commit in for the plant itself. As the Cosmic Divide has dissipated. The peek in, May. Pre-firing the angle, will find the headshot. And this time, DFM will not allow it to happen. See, I was right. And that's going to be them now getting up to 9.
अगर ये throw हुआ.
You can't admit though that you
विश्वास उठ जाएगा
were
VALORANT
not
पे.
worried a little bit
Oh,
at moments during
as,
that round.
as soon as Hakame died. It's like, how have I done this?
It definitely felt like it, but great stuff here from Art. I mean, we see these moments from DFM, but
इसको मालूम क्या
the
चला
bigger
है?
picture
एक सेकंड पहले ही गोली चला उन्हें देख.
seemingly mostly in GE's favor, but 4 in a row for DFM. Not giving up.
Needing to make it 7. Get this into OT.
Doable. Got a couple.
OT
you've
तो
got,
नहीं
well,
जाती रे.
one all that really matters.
OT नहीं जाना चाहिए भाई.
Since
जीत
you have
जाएगी
the
जी.
dimensional drift.
अब ड्रोन करता फंसता ही नहीं फंसता.
Check with the drone. Akame trying to dodge it a little bit, but
I was saying, there's no one peeking to try to clear it here for him. So
Yeah.
we'll just
इसका
have to send the
trademark
shot. So
निकालने
operator
लगा
going to
ना
be
पहले तो.
identified. Needs to be able to get out of here if things go sideways. The drone shoves them back a bit.
Taking the back.
Start popped. Not going to go for a timing shot. They all drift across. The swing out tries to hit the hospital flick, but this time we'll be able to get out unscathed.
सुटक बोल के मारता है उसको hospital flick बोलते guys. तुम लोग
that's tough play.
letting you know.
Good job by GE there to at least break that angle open, but this is kind of opening up the rest of the map for them. There's going to be the wall that Yudotan, see if he pops it or not. Just pinged it out. Hasn't opted. I don't think he got it to go just yet. I'm not sure, but
क्या सीन?
They're just waiting
इतना
now
सन्नाटा
for the
क्यों है भाई? लड़ो ना.
reinforcements.
लड़ते रहो लड़ते
Make sure
मार
that
लो एक दूसरे को घमाघम मार
every
लो मार
position
क्या
is clear here.
कप्पू कप्पू कपार
You
कपर
have
कर
the
दो.
cosmic divide, so maybe just going to set it up at to cover the front of the site.
एक दूसरे का खोपड़ियां खोल लो घिम घिम मार के
Escape crash from May.
तब मजा आता
Just
देखने भी.
Gonna be a little bit
आ
further
शांत
away.
शांत
Patrick
की हाँ
Hoover
ठीक है
to the
इसी
opener, finds it.
ऐसा बोल रहा था
Gonna be
ठीक है
taken
खत्म कर दो.
Site widely opened up. 20 seconds
R2
remaining on the clock to push forward. Crystal going for the plant. Thorn set up. Spike in play. 5 players still strong here for the side of G as they
So
look to
क्या ulti है
bring
ना?
this series to its end. Dimensional drift out. May scouting calls here. Knows who's on the corner. Akame.
कहीं
hold the
कौन ऐसा
line,
push कर रहा
finds
हूँ, समझ
first,
नहीं
now
आया.
brings it back into a 4v4. Time working against them. The swing up from Yudotan faces back in towards mid. Arc going to be eliminated. Jien off screen, able to find Kelly S and May. Flushes out Yudotan. The Hunter's Fury to try and delay. Jien going to be taken
बुल्ले मिला
down.
दिया.
Poppy saved off, but look at the damage. Both of them
हाफ
getting the
है
hit.
हाफ है.
May, he dies, but the defuse is there. Akame doing his best. Sylvan comes away with a round win. DFM 2 off, taking us now into overtime.
I mean, this looked like this was game, set, match for GE.
ये समझ
Patrick
में नहीं
Hu
आया
gets
क्यों
the
पुश किया
opening
ऐसे.
kill. And things kind of start
ये
to
मारा.
crumble a little bit. Yudotan there, able to be cleared out of Art. But I mean, there was so much post-plant utility. I mean, you had Nanos, you had the Astra, you had the Vice util, you had the Hunter's Fury. I thought for sure GE was just going to be able to kind of scrape by on that. But again, DFM is getting more active on the map. They're coming from more angles on these retakes. And that started to get them these round wins that they so desperately needed. Kind of made it a lot more difficult for GE
अब
to
केजे
just
का
post
ulti है
up
ना next.
into their
निकाल लेते रे.
post-plant positions. They're able to clear out players fast enough to just barely squeak through with a round win. Now push towards Art. Trying to overstack this A-side angle. GN's like, well, I've been here before, and this is something that GE's been dipping into to win rounds.
Akame here at main, in behind the box. The trademark going to be cleared out over towards Art. A lockdown in play.
ये हौला हट रहा भी नहीं रे भाई सामने से.
Kelly's very suspicious about this position, but isn't going to confirm anything here. The jiggle peek out, the shoulder spotted. The shot flies, but Akame cannot find the punish. A world away from his rendezvous. As the flood gets ready to come through. Nice flick, finds one. Crystal can take it down. The redraw on the up, and Patrick is dead. Tries to find this final can happen, but Kelly is the last one standing. Is my god DFM.
प्लान देते हैं निकले तो मारते थे ना इसको.
You look at the money here for the side of Global Esports. Full loss bonus. But it's just Kelly S slowly slipping away with the op in hand. And DFM getting this one round away from an overtime.
This is quite the map. What looked like it was just going to be GE kind of running away with this series. Could have an overtime. Well, okay, Kelly S.
It's calling like he's so low.
Get him.
The operator will be retained.
I mean, what a play here from Akame. Stuck on A main. GE knows it.
The first one was great. The second one I couldn't believe.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's like, I'm peeking, I'm shooting, and I'm moving back, and I'm just going to keep swinging side to side until they take me out. He has a great job with it. That saves their round life. I mean, GE not doing the wrong thing in that situation. They got to clear that position, but just got outplayed. The timeouts be damned. DFM might just send it into OT.
And Art's got an Odin.
कौन है Odin? अरे यार साले Art तो जीत रहा है फिर भी Odin ले रहा.
That gets them into overtime. Gets them an opportunity to still yet extend this series over towards split.
I like that from Art. Kind of recognizes that.
अरे हो गया मैच.
That might be a bit of bait from GE.
जीत गए देख लो. जीत गए.
GE's been doing this so much.
जीत गए इन्हें चेंज कराना
अपना डायरेक्ट. Recognizes that they might overstack this angle again, so better get out of there and just wait this out. Still have the Hunter's Fury as well for Art, so he's getting into what I suspect is a position to try to find some value out of that. TP being sent out by May to try to cover over towards the A site. Top of the wall here. This is the old T1 play-ish.
जीत गए.
Be the hero.
अरे जीत गए देखो
guys. Trying to sell.
जीत गए रे.
Starts drifting his way back over. Hunter's Fury is available to try to interrupt the plan.
इन्हें पुश भी करा तो भी जीत गए हम ना.
Still went forward. They get themselves here onto the site. They're on the nano. Hunter's Fury going to be coming in, but it's going to be late. Now having to assess and try to spot out these players. The updraft out the window shot. Somehow not connecting. Akame nearly able to find it. Got battle, however, the shot connecting. Jacob down the fadeaway from Patrick, who gets rid of May, and somehow, some way, DFM now very much on the back foot. Swing on the corner, Akame. The last
Let's go! बोला नहीं बोला.
Close but no cigar. Global Esports.
जीत गए बोल रहा है मेरी बात मानो रे. और best watch party ever.
They close out
India up
13-11.
कौन गया?
And they take
यार ऐसे सपना इंडियन प्लेयर्स जीता है और मजा आता है.
चल well played. Final round there for Patrick who.
बोला नहीं बोला.
Welcome to VCT PACIFIC.
बोला नहीं बोला मैं जीत जाती बल्कि.
Big win here for Global Esports as they looked phenomenal through most of this match.
Thank you बोल दो मेरे पहले.
I mean, only that run back from DFM really had them on the ropes.
VALORANT watch party player.
You see Kelly S very excited to have Patrick here with him, giving him a big hug. And this time off during the off season, DFM still has a lot to work on. Still not really in a place where they'd like to be. And potentially a challenging stage 1 ahead of them.
चलो.
I'll tell you what, if Patrick Gu
he's
gonna keep having moments like that, yeah, I mean, I'd say the overall Pearl a little bit wobbly.
Yeah.
Let's go, GG.
Fine.
मजा आया, मजा आया, मजा आया, मजा आया, GG. GOP यार, कोई चैट में तो GOP स्पैम कर दो, ठीक है? वेल प्लेड यार जी, सल्यूट। पैट्रिक हु, आई एम योर बिगेस्ट फैन। पैट्रिक हु बॉल्स। बाय गाइस, ले पैट्रिक हु को प्यार दियो। पैट्रिक हु, मैं अंशु हूँ।